Good evening, world, Earl, Earl. As I take a deep breath, oh man, and welcome to another episode of Bandog Talk with the Dog God, brought to you by Formula One K9s. That is me. That is my brand for my performance dogs. And tonight, man, we got a good cook up tonight, man. You know, as you probably read the title, but let me go ahead and put the title down in the banner here real quick, man. Let's go ahead and do that. Why? Okay. Y'all see that, right? Why is the APBT, American Pit Bull Terrier, okay, so toxic, which I meant to put community. Okay. Why is the APBT community so toxic against itself? Okay. And who I feel is the blame. All right. So let's take this out since I didn't put the full thing, but that's the title tonight, man. And I'm doing it for, I'm coming from my perspective, my experience in the APBT community, being that was my foundation. As a young dog enthusiast, right? I fell in love with the pit bull at 8 years old. And then I owned my first pit bull in 96 or 97. It was like 96, 97. I owned my first pit bull. And, I had a job in high school, man. I worked for Pepsi, believe it or not, man. I had a good job. And, had a couple dollars and bought my first ADBA registered pit bull, red nose. I didn't know nothing about bloodlines. The big thing back in those days was having a pit bull that was papered. You understand? So that was my first real experience owning the American Pit Bull Terrier. And of course, I had to go with the game pit bull. However, at that time, I didn't even know what that was. I was still I was graduating high school in 96. Shows you how old I am. But anyway, it felt good, in my neighborhood coming with a dog that was out of town. It was like 2 hours away. I went to go buy my dog. I didn't buy it, in our neighborhood. I bought out of town, because I wanted to come with something different. And like I said, I had a job. So I had a couple dollars, to spend. And I think we, it was me and my cousin too. And I think we spent like 300 for our dogs, and I found him his dog, and we bought it from two different breeders, but it was strategic what we were doing at that age, what I'm saying, in 96. So, I wanted to talk about my experience, dealing with the so-called community of American Pit Bull Terrier owners or enthusiasts or even breeders, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, why I feel that it's toxic. So before we do this and get into this discussion, just like I always tell y'all, man, get comfortable, man. Hey, salute, Jerry. Man, welcome back, man. Salute to you, brother. Like I said, we got a good show, man. You know what I mean? Like I said, I can only speak from my perspective and the things that I talk about because, like I always tell you guys, man, I'm a player coach. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm in the field and I'm coaching at the same time. I'm coaching what I do in the field and what I experience. You know what I mean? That's why it's real. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, coaching somebody else. I'm not spectating anybody else's plays and telling y'all about it. No, I'm coaching myself in the field as I play. You know what I mean? So everything that I speak on is from my perspective. I'm not putting my perspective on anybody else. You know what I mean? But being that this is my platform, you know, I want to let you guys know how I feel about certain topics. So, like I said, get comfortable. I don't know if you just came in from a day of work, got done, finished eating with your family. Maybe you might be still working. Get comfortable if you're not at work. If you're at work, plug in your headphones or whatever, man. Take a listen, but grab you a little cocktail or something, man. Something to wind down from a long day of work. If you like the herbal sensation, man, go ahead and roll you up a stick. Let's just have an ear to hear, man. Let's have an ear to hear. And like I said, I can only give you my field play, what I mean, and what I've experienced in my many moons, my many years of doing this dog. So I'm gonna go ahead and take me a sip of my vodka lemonade. What I mean? I keep it simple, man. Vodka lemonade. If I drink that dark, man, I turn into another individual, man. You know what I mean? So I stick to the light. That's it calms, what I mean, calms, curbs the edge, if you want to call it that, from a long work day. Because I'm doing dogs 365 days a year, 7 days a week. Dogs, no days off. So, you know, only time I actually partake in the cocktail is, with you guys. And, if me and my wife go out, we'll have a cocktail or something like that. But, I don't really, partake in anything um, when it comes to substances. But anyway, like I said, get you a little drink, man, take a sip, and we're going to dive into this, man. We're going to dive into it because this is something that, like I said, I've been dealing with the community for ever since I got on the internet. So, 2018 is when I got on the internet, as far as like, letting the world know about what I'm doing with my dogs. And, once you open yourself up to the public, you learn things about communities, right? And that's why I wanted to talk about the American Pit Bull Terrier community, because I learned some things as I was introduced to it, you know, by just doing me though. You know what I'm saying? They the community came knocking at my door. So I want to talk about that tonight with you guys. You know what I'm saying? So let me take this sip and we're gonna dive right into it. Oh, that's good, man. Had a long day too, man. Had a long day. I'm gonna post something on the YouTube, man, and you know, discuss with y'all or tell you guys about that particular day, which is today. I'm not gonna mention it tonight though, but it will be you know, in my videos, be posted soon. You know what I mean? And that's something I'm also gonna do for you guys as well. I'm doing a vlog. I've been thinking like, even ever since I got on YouTube a couple years ago, I was like, I'm not an entertainer. Some people are entertaining. I have lingo. I do my little, how the coach do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I do my ah and you know how I do it. You know what I mean? Stuff that I've been doing for many moons, and you know, my partners love it and stuff. We do that all the time. It's like, we just be playing around and stuff, but it just became contagious, and all my partners talk like that. You know what I'm saying? Now we don't talk like that to anybody. You feel me? We just talk like that to each other. You know what I mean? Because that's something I've been doing for forever. So everybody think it's funny. And so that's how we talk. You know what I'm saying? So I do that. But other than that, there's nothing entertaining about what I do. So, I've been like trying to figure out, like, being that I'm real in what I do, like how can I express that and still be entertaining, right? How can I express the work, the blood, sweat, and tears, or like I like to say, blood, sweat, and dog shit? How do I express that and be entertaining? You know what I mean? Like, so that's something that's been, puzzling me for the past couple of years since I've been on YouTube. Like, how can I do it? Because it's not entertaining. I'm not entertained taking care of dogs. It's a responsibility taking care of dogs. It's a lot of work. Every day is something, especially when you're taking care of 30 plus dogs all by yourself. Shout out to my wife, though. Anytime I need some assistance, my wife is there. So I'm grateful to have a wife. However, it's me, one man band. I do it all, one man band. And I'm not entertained by taking care of dogs. But at the same time, when you're a dog man and let's say you're an aspiring dog man, this is something that I wish that I was able to see as a young man, like what it really takes to be a dog man, like what it really takes, the work. So I had to just come to grips with reality of like what I do is not entertaining. I'm not going to fake and fabricate to make you laugh, make you, oh, cool. I'm not here to do that. You know what I mean? Because it's not about that. However, I can let you in, like I'm going to do, like I'm doing, and you can either respect it or not. So I started a vlog, which I'm going to let you guys in. You know what I'm saying? Just in the field play. You know what I mean? And hopefully, dogmen, current and future dogmen will appreciate, what I'm saying, the in the field play that I'm showing y'all, what I mean, in my day to day, what I'm saying, in my vlogs. So I will be posting a lot more videos. Okay. So stay on the lookout for that. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it, man. Again, salute Jerry, man. Welcome, man. Welcome tonight. So when I got on the internet, right? And before I was on the internet, I was already doing dogs. I was doing dogs back in 2005. I started out with pit bulls. Okay. So as far as breeding, my breeding stock, I had pit bulls in 96 and had pit bulls after that. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't breeding the dogs back in those days. I just had them because I was a dog enthusiast. I always wanted a pit bull. That was something that my partners, I mean, anybody that was in the 90s know that was the dog to have, was a pit bull or a Rottweiler. I had partners that had Rottweilers, but pit bull was like my dog of choice. So I had to get me one, and I got me one back in 96. But 2005, I had my house. I was, wanting to be a breeder. I had a partner of mine. I was actually in the mortgage businesses, doing mortgages at that time. I was a mortgage broker. And I had a partner of mine from Cleveland. He was in the game dogs and stuff. And we were talking about dogs, and I was like, I'm thinking about getting the dog breeding. And so at that time, you know, people were, either into red nose, reds, you know what I'm saying? And at that time in '05, there was what they called the blue pits came out, right? And so I had red noses, I had red dogs. That's what I started with. I mean, I had a red pied. Um, my first pit bull was a red pied, red nose, ADBA registered. His name, I named him Angel. Um, what was so crazy about that scenario was I was living with my mother at the time, my mother and my father, and you know, we would just have our dogs. Honestly, man, we would just have our dogs, and we would bring them over to each other's houses, and you know what I mean. We would let them. We called it hitting. You know what I'm saying? So we would let, and this is in the past. Okay, not something that I'm doing now, but back when I was young in '96, we would let our dogs scrap. It was just more like it was a machismo thing. You know what I mean? However, we would never let it get to a point where we felt a dog was going to get hurt. When we felt that the dogs were was, but there was an advantage there and something, we felt it was getting out of hand, we would break them up quickly. You know what I'm saying? We would never just let it go there. So that's what we called it, hitting. You know what I mean? If our dog took advantage over the next man's dog, then we stopped it. You know what I'm saying? Because we loved our dogs back there. We wasn't pit fighting. We wasn't doing nothing like that. That was just more of a machismo, us young boys. You know what I'm saying? In the high school, going to college, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, my dog's tougher than yours. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? When like I said, partners had rots, that's what we used to do. So anyway, the dog I happened to buy, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was the dog. And I remember I had that dog at my parents' house, and it would escape and stuff, and this is my first time dealing with this type of dog. You know what I mean? Like, he would climb over the fence, he'll dig underneath the fence, he'll break through the fence. And my parents was not having it. I'll be out working, and my dad's like, I had to go chase Angel down the street, the neighbors is running, and you got to get rid of this dog. And I'm like, oh man, no, I'm tripping. Like, nah, pops. Anyway, I had to get rid of the dog because I was still living at my parents' house. So I had to get rid of him. I think I only had him for a year. You know what I'm saying? So I had him, he was a year old. Now, because of what I used to do with my partners, one of my partner's brothers, his older brother, okay, my partner hit me up like, hey, man, my brother want to buy your dog. And so I said, man, I mean, shit. I mean, if I let him go, he's only a year old, he's still good. He's, everybody loves him. I need what I paid. I need 300. So anyway, his brother, you know what I'm saying, paid 300, paid me what I paid for him, at a year old, because he wanted him. You know what I'm saying? So boom, I sold. That was my first dog I sold, man, for the price I paid, man, back in those days, man, back in 97, 98, whatever. So anyway, fast forward to 05. But like I said, I've had pied red nose, ADB registered. I bought a chocolate red nose, inbred dog. It wasn't papered. I bought a chocolate and white red nose because I was into red dogs. You know what I'm saying? Back in those days, earlier on. So I had 3 dogs before 2005, and they were all red nose game pit bulls. Okay. At least that's what I found out later on that I had, you know what I'm saying, when I looked through the paperwork later on down the road. So fast forward, 05, blue pit bulls was something that was, being spoken upon, and people were like, yo, have you seen those gray? They were calling them gray, gray. You've seen a gray pit bull before? I'm like, nah, what? Gray? You know what I mean? I ain't never heard no gray pit bull. Yeah, they calling them blues. So I seen one, and then, I was like, wow, that's a dope color. You know what I mean? Just to see that gray in a pit bull, I was like, that's dope. You know what I mean? So me and my partner, like I said, we had some bread, you know what I'm saying? Again, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm doing mortgages. So we making, we doing good at that time in 05. You know what I mean? So anybody that was in the mortgage business know, you know what I mean? That was before the crash. So, but we was doing real good. So we was eating. So, money was right at our disposal. So we like, man, let's get into breeding dogs. Me and my partner's like, let's get into breeding dogs. So I'm like, all right, let's do it. So my partner's like, look, man, I know you real thorough with the dogs. He's talking about me. He's like, coach, you real thorough with the dogs, man. Pick us out some dogs, man. Okay. You bought a male, I bought a female. Pick us out some dogs. So I'm like, all right, do some research. So I was, started on the internet, started researching, going to these different classifieds and searching for different pit bulls and blue dogs, whatever, blue pit bulls, whatever, because that was the hot thing at that time. And I felt that was a dope ass color. I ain't never seen it in person, but it was dope when I was seeing it on the internet. So, I stumbled across 2 breeders. Okay. One in Pennsylvania. Okay. They were dealing with the old school Razor's Edge at that time. That's what they were called, Razor's Edge. This is before I knew about Razor's Edge. I didn't know nothing about these bloodlines. I'm just looking for blue dogs. But Cairo and, Ozone and shit, you know what I mean? Paddington, you know. Anyway, I tapped into that breeder out there in Pennsylvania, man, and they had like a chocolate red nose. But at the same time, she was telling me that, they carry blue because we're trying to breed. So remember, I'm a red nose fan. You know what I'm saying? I'm a red dog fan. And I like the chocolate reds because I've had two of them before this. So when she told me that the before I knew it was a dilute gene, right? I figured that out later on down the road, the gene that makes the blue. She told me that they will produce blue because the dad is a blue dog, the mom is a black dog. And just so happened that, the dog that I wanted was a chocolate red nose, almost like a butterfinger, like a reddish. It was like a butterfinger, like the inside of a butterfinger was like that, almost like a reddish orange, but with the red nose. So I was already a fan right there. And she said it can probably throw blue. So I'm like, bingo, let me get that. So then I was researching for my partner because my boy's like, hey man, find me one, and so we can we can breed and stuff. We can partner up. So then I'm doing all my research and I'm calling these guys. I'm asking them about drive, because I come from that. Well, how's the drive on the dog? How's this? So, man, I bumped my head, man, on my partner's dog. Okay, as I'm calling these people, I call this white brother in Arkansas, and he had some blue dogs available, right? And he got that, that southern drawl, all that, that you would get out there from somebody in Arkansas. And I'm telling him, like, hey man, I ain't never had a blue dog before, but I come from, what I mean, the red nose type dogs. And I'm telling him where I come from with the dogs. I need a dog with certain type of drive, but I want it to be blue, but I still want that red, drive, whatever. He said, well, guess what, man? I got these hog dogs, man. Me and my family, we breed hog dogs. We hunt with these dogs. You know what I'm saying? They're ADBA registered and they're UKC registered. You know what I'm saying? So they're dual registered dogs. Okay. But he said, if you want a dog with tremendous prey drive, and we've been breeding them for a long time this way, this is what you want to get. You know what I mean? Like, this is what you want to get right here. And we have blue dogs. So I'm like, okay, well, damn it, man. That's what I need right there. So anyway, I told my partner about it. He was like, man, if you say it's a go, it's a go. I'm like, yeah, man, it's a go. So check this out. My man over there in Arkansas was charging $600 for that hog dog that happened to be blue. $600, okay, for my southern white brother, right? I paid $1,000 for that chocolate red nose. Okay. Hey, salute. What's that? Young Ready. Salute to your family. What's that? Yay La One. Salute to you, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we getting in and we getting into it. I'm setting it up. You know what I'm saying? I'm just setting it up for you guys. So, just pay attention. I'm trying to build it up so that you can understand where I'm coming from and why I feel the way I feel. Okay. So I go ahead, right? I tell my partner he agrees, right? Okay. My man out there in Arkansas gives me the game on the dog. He tells me that it's gonna have the drive that I'm used to, probably more than, but he said he got blue dogs. So boom, you know what I mean? $600 for my partner, bam. I paid $1,000 for mine, boom. You know what I mean? We in the game, right? 2005, we in the game. We buy our dogs right there, right there. We're gonna start breeding dogs. Okay, pit bulls. Okay. I get a red nose chocolate that can carry blue. Okay. And then my partner get a blue female. Okay. But I was the one that found those dogs. So I get my dog, and my dog's kind of small and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, he's cool, handsome. I go get his ears cropped. You know what I mean? I got the purple ribbon. You know what I mean? You know how it is with UKC, the purple ribbon. So that means at least 6 generations. So back in those days, papers was something big. Is your dog papered up? That gave you a little prestige when you had paper dogs. So ever since 96, I was having paper dogs. Only bought one that wasn't. And, I had to get rid of that motherfucker because he was stupid. But anyway, so we get these dogs. So I give my partner his, man, right? The female, the blue female, right? And she reminded me of a game style like the pits I was buying back in 96. She looked like it, but she was just blue. So as these dogs grow up, I got mine, he got his, you know what I mean? As these dogs grow up, right? So I go to my partner's house and I'm seeing this bitch grow up and I'm seeing the muscles in this puppy, you know? Fast forward 6 months old. I'm seeing the muscles in his dog, right? Now my dog is, 6 months and he's looking kind of lanky, but he's kind of small or whatever. But I'm excited about him because we gonna breed anyway. We cooking up our own recipes. But I'm looking at my partner's dog. I'm like, yo, why is your bitch so muscular? She's only 6 months old. He's like, man, I don't know, man. And not only that, this bitch want to go after everything around. You know what I'm saying? I gotta keep her on lockdown. She trying to, go after the neighbor's dog. She trying, you know what I mean? So he already talking about the drive. Now remember that the white brother from Arkansas was telling me about the drive about this dog, and his dog was heavy watchdog blood, okay, in the pedigree, heavy watchdog, okay, but he was breeding how the game performance dog, they were breeding like how they was breeding, you know what I'm saying? They were making families of dogs, you know what I'm saying? So in the pedigree, as I figured out how to read pedigrees, because I'm learning as I'm starting to learn how to breed, right? I'm learning how to read pedigrees, and I'm seeing all these line to inbred type of dogs, right? In the pedigree, right? Damn, this is fucking 3 times this and 6 times that, and I'm seeing all this, right? But I'm not understanding pedigree. I'm still new. I'm still green to the breeding of dogs, okay? But I'm seeing this. But now my partner's telling me how this bitch is acting, you know? And then, like I said, when I seen her, she was just so ripped up, and she was only 6 months, like ripped. Like, why this bitch so ripped up? What are you doing to her? He's like, man, I ain't doing nothing, man. This is what she is, man. You know what I mean? She trying to get to the neighbor's dog. I got to keep her locked up. So fast forward, my partner, he moves, right? Because we in the same city, but he moves to another city. Okay. Now he lives on this hill, actually in Oakland. Okay. If y'all familiar with California, he lives in Oakland, but he lives in the Oakland Hills. Right? They had a dope ass house in the Oakland Hills. So his house was perched on this hill, and he had his dog just in the backyard because he learned about his dog too. You know what I mean? So he just had it in the backyard. But there's deer and all kind of stuff. So this dog's drive, right? She would run up this hill every day, running up the hill because he got stuff running in the woods, and that dog just was trying to get at whatever it was, man. I went to his house out there in the hills, and I see that bitch again. She's probably over a year old. She is. I'm like, yo, why your bitch is built like Arnold Schwarzenegger? Like her rears is just tremendous. If y'all seen conditioned dogs, real conditioned dogs, and you can see you see the little bit of the rib, but you see the muscle in the ribs. You know what I'm saying? It's not just rib that you see bone, but you see the rib cage with the muscles on top. So you see like damn near like they got muscles in the rib cage. The bitch had traps. The bitch had the neck muscle, but then her rears is just massive. He's like, yeah, all this bitch do is run up and down the hill. He says, all that bitch does is run up and down the hill every day trying to chase whatever's in the back of the woods and the deer and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm just amazed at this bitch, right? Now, my boy ended up turning out to be a nice dog too. He's very intelligent, smart. I kept him conditioned, but he was nothing like that bitch I got my partner for $600. Okay. Nothing like her. You know what I'm saying? His drive wasn't like her drive. You know what I'm saying? It was cool, but not intense like that bitch he got. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm learning about the genetics because I'm seeing it, and I'm remembering what my white brother from Arkansas told me when I bought these dogs from him. I bought that dog from him. You know what I'm saying? About family of hog. We hunt hogs with these dogs. Like, this is what we do with these dogs. These dogs is built for that type of stuff. It just so happens to be blue, and that's what you want, a blue dog. So boom. So I didn't know what I was purchasing. I just bumped my head. I'm gonna say that was a bump head. But anyway, long story short, that dog ended up having a record with animal control because it would break out and then kill neighbors' dogs, or he would have it outside. He's new to this type of dog. He's had dogs. He claimed he had dogs like that, but I don't believe he did because he couldn't contain his dog because his dog kept getting in trouble and he kept getting cited by animal control because of what the dogs was doing to the neighbors' dogs, killing the dogs, attacking the dogs, getting out. So we end up doing our first breeding, me and my brother. So I'm building it up to y'all so that y'all can understand where I come from and when it comes to the pit bulls that I have today. So we end up breeding these 2 dogs, right? And we get a litter of blue and black dogs, mostly black dogs. I think we probably got 2 blues, but mostly black dogs that we got out of that litter. Okay, so I end up keeping 2. I got a male and a female. Okay, my partner, that was the deal. Just, give me a male and female, whatever you sell is on you. That was our deal between us as, partners in the dog breeding shit, right? So I get my 2, male and female. I got a blue male and a black female. Okay. So as I'm, dealing with these puppies and stuff like that, and then, back in those days, I had a lot of friends that was into dogs and, they wanted my dog. So I had my partner, was like, yo, let me get that male from you. And I'm like, nah, I'm keeping him. No, let me get that male from him. He kept bugging me. Man, coach, let me get that male. I'm like, man, all right, man, give me 1,500 for him, man. I'll give it to you. And then he cashed me out 1,500. Boom. So I sold him that male or whatever. So I had the black bitch, right? So, me being a rookie with these type of dogs, you know what I'm saying? As far as just, breeding them and seeing what I got, I bring my 6-month-old puppy over to my partner's house to see the mom. Man, that was a mistake, brothers. That was a mistake. That was a mistake. Bro, as soon as I brought that bitch over there, the mom attacked her daughter. It attacked her instantly. When I brought her over there, instantly, it was nasty, man. It was a nasty fight. So, but what was impressive though, if I could say that, was that my 6-month-old bitch, her name was Buffy. Buffy the Body was her name. She was over there, going back and forth with the mom at 6 months old. So they over there going at it, and me and my partner started, we trying to break them up. We didn't have no breaking stick, nothing. Like, we rookies to this, this energy space. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I didn't come from no dog fighting shit. You know what I'm saying? I came from, we used to let our dogs hit. Like I was telling y'all earlier, let them, let them rustle and stuff. We would break them up before it got too crazy. But when, they going at it to the point where they trying to kill each other, that's a whole different play. And that was what was going on between the mom and then my puppy. So, man, I'm over there beating his bitch with the damn, leash buckle. Ain't nothing, but that ain't doing nothing to these dogs, man. It's just crazy, man. Blood everywhere. So, we ended up breaking them up, doing a little choke maneuver. You know what I'm saying? You go ahead and take your choker collar. This, if you ain't got a break stick, this works. You take it, if you got a choker collar, and let's say you got a leash, man, but I had a choker collar on my bitch or whatever, right? And so I told my partner, man, take his leash, tie it to the bitch's neck. So we just choked them out. We choked both of them out to get them off a hold. Then, of course, they couldn't breathe. Then they released, and then we got them off, right? Boom, we got them off. Man, it was a bloody mess. It was a bloody mess, y'all. So, boom, that's when I first got to see that fire and what me and my boy produced, right? We learning what we cooking up. We learning our pit bulls at that time, right? Fast forward. I get another dog, okay, because I want to produce something off of her now, you know what I'm saying, off my black bitch I keep, right? So this bitch, ever since she got that first taste of blood, now she acting like her mom and shit. I gotta contain her. She breaking out, she doing all the things that the mom was doing. I'm witnessing that now with the black bitch, her daughter, because she doing all the same shit, breaking out and shit. The bitch was an escape artist, okay, escape artist, man. Break out, unhook latches, climb fences, chew through fences, dig under fences. Her prey drive was just like her mother. It was just, she had no on-off switch to the prey drive, put it that way. She seen something, she gonna get it, and she gonna bust through. There was one time I came out, man, and I'm hearing this boom, 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 right? And I had her contained in my backyard. I had like a dog run, and I had her contained in the backyard, and man, this bitch is running through the fence, like literally running, trying to run through it. Boom, boom, trying to get at the neighbor's dog. I'm like, man, what the fuck? This bitch is crazy. You know what I mean? So this is where I'm experiencing what certain type of drives is. You know what I mean? Through my own shit. You know what I mean? That me and my partner just cooked up on some, hey, let's get into breeding, man. I like blue dogs. Let's breed these particular blue dogs, not knowing the type of bloodline. My breeder told me what it was, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm not necessarily knowing until we experiencing it. Now we know that, oh, these dogs is hot. The prey drive is just beyond belief. So I get another dog to breed to her, right? Now, I was a fan of Muggleston Pitbull Farms, okay? They had a dog named Blue Boogie Monster. If y'all know who that is, if y'all know who Muggleston Pitbull Farms were at that time in the early 2000s, they were at the top of the game when it came to, larger style pit bulls. Okay. A lot of the NBA niggas bought those dogs. A lot of people bought those dogs. My man, his name is Aaron. He got rich off of that. You know what I'm saying? Off them dogs he was selling. He got rich off of that. Real talk, real life. So anyway, I had another partner in the mortgage game. And, he was like, yo, I'm going to get into dogs like you and your partner, man. I'm trying to get into dogs. I was like, he's like, man, what do you recommend? And at that time I was, surfing the net. At that time, that's when people was having their websites up. So I'm surfing the net, looking at everybody's dog. Cause now I'm a dog enthusiast. Not only that, I'm an actual dog breeder. So I'm seeing who's cooking up what and who's winning. So I come across Muggleston and I'm seeing the prices, he putting the prices on his website. $10,000. It's 05. 10,000, 12,000. Like, what? But I'm seeing all these NBA, NFL niggas buying these dogs, and he's selling dogs, getting the money. So my partner, he was well off too. He was well off. He got bread. He was like, yo, what do you recommend me get? I said, bro, if you got the money, you need to go full with Muggleston. They got, and they got they got it. And all the stars is buying their stuff too. They got it. My partner went to the website, saw it. He's like, man, I'm gonna get a male and a female. And he did, you know what I mean? He hollered at Aaron, came with the bread. He got it. You know what I'm saying? He got a male off of Boogie and some other bitch, and he got a female. So he got a half brother, half sister, okay, from two different litters. So, he came to the game off the top, you know what I'm saying? Elite. You know what I'm saying? Just based off the fact that he got the blood, he got the dogs that's gonna get him the money. People were wanting them larger style, 100-pound, you know what I'm saying? And this is before they was calling them bullies. Okay. People were wanting those bigger style, like Juan Gotti type pit bulls. They was wanting those at that time. And I didn't have that, you know what I'm saying? But my partner bought it. He bought a male and a female. So I was like, yo, I gotta get one from you, man. I can't believe you spent that bread. I think he spent $8,000 for the male. And then since he was buying two, I think Aaron cut him a deal for the bitch. He gave him that bitch for like 6 bands or whatever. So anyway, he bought two off the top. You know what I mean? So he gets the dogs. I already got my bitch. I got my male. Okay. I need a male for her. And when my partner bought it, I was like, look, man, bro, I got to get a puppy when you decide to breed him, man, because, you did what you did. He said, bro, since you line me up with that, I'll sell you a puppy for $1,500 when I do the breeding. I'm like, what? You gonna sell me a puppy for $1,500 off of that blood? He's like, yeah. So we shook on it, right? And I'm thinking, yeah, he ain't gonna do that. You know what I mean? But we shook on it. And probably a year and a half later, man, he bred those dogs and he honored it, man. He honored it. You know what I mean? Now I ended up getting 3rd pick, but I picked the dog that I wanted. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I get a piece of that puzzle too. You know what I'm saying? So I got some of that Muggleston blood as well. So, I cook up my breedings with that female I produced with my partner in the beginning, right? With that watchdog bitch. Okay. My bitch, Buffy the body, you know what I'm saying? Prey drive to the maximum, muscled out, all the she was her mom, but black. Literally. She was her mom, but all black bitch. Okay. Fired up, want to kill everything. We ended up naming that bitch the Silent Assassin because she would, how certain dogs will bark and they make high pitch, especially some of them game dogs. They make a lot of high pitched noises when they want to get at it. She didn't bark nothing. She didn't make no noises, no growling. She just attacked. She just was strung like that. She was just ready to go. So we called her the Silent Assassin. You know what I mean? Because anything that was in that yard that I had, you know what I mean? Whether it be a bird, what, I don't care what it was, man. We find it dead, you know what I mean? And she was breaking out. So I had to put her on lockdown because she was just a liability. She became a liability for me. You know what I mean? Like I really had to lock her down because she was too much. And I had and to take her out for walks, I had to take her out for a walk at like 10 past 10 midnight, so that none of my neighbors had their dogs out. You know what I mean? So that she ain't going crazy trying to get the dog. Because people are already, they think certain things about pit bulls. You know what I mean? So I'm learning on the job with this bitch how crazy she was when it came to her drive, right? How she wanted to kill something, she gonna kill it. And I don't care if I'm holding a leash or not, she going at it. So I get the dog from my partner. I got my bitch, my fired up bitch. So I got me a little recipe. Like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna throw this Muggeston stuff in. So I should be able to get some of this bread because he got that blood, you know what I mean? And I'm the only one out there in my, you know what I mean, in my neck of the woods, aside from my partner with that Muggeston blood, you know what I'm saying? Because Cass wasn't trying to spend that money. So I got that shit, you know what I'm saying? I got 2 times bug, you know what I mean? So now I got this dog, this male, and he grows up to be a specimen, man. Real talk, y'all. He grows up to be a specimen. You know what I mean? He was a fawn dog, let's say a buckskin dog, but you know what I mean? He had, muscle on top of muscle. He had the block head, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he looked like Bug, man, but a little bit more shredded up than him. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, you know how some guys will, kind of be in their neighborhood or whatever. Just, let's say if you didn't have a conceal and carry permit or whatever, some cats keep, guns in they, whatever. They might keep a gun in their car glove box or underneath their seat, or somebody even carried it on them or stuff like that. You know what I mean? But you know what I did? I used to go everywhere with that damn Muggeston dog. Everywhere. And everywhere I used to bring that dog, man, everybody checked it and respected it. Like, yo, what is that? That dog is crazy. That dog, look at the muscle on that dog, man. And he was very cocky. A dog that's confident, because I sidekicked him everywhere I went. I sidekicked that dog. Okay, that was my sidekick. Went everywhere with me, right in the back seat. You know what I mean? And I brought him out there with me. So every time, when you take a puppy and you start doing that with him, you know what I mean? In the beginning, he might, kind of be like, what's this? What's this, dad? Kind of uneasy in the beginning when he's a puppy because he's not necessarily knowing. But, every time I bring him out, he get more comfortable with being out on the route, just random people. So now this dog is, feeling himself. You know what I mean? Because I always have him out. So all my partners would see it and they just be blown away. You know what I mean? And this is my partners. All, my partners had all kind of dogs and stuff. Like I said, Rottweilers. Some of my partners had Dobermans. Some of my partners had old school game dogs. Some of my partners had blue dogs. Some of my partners, we was dog men. A lot of the people that I was dealing with at that time, we was into dogs. So we had all kind of dogs. But when I brought my stuff out, hands down, everybody was saluting that dog. This dog named Primo. His name is Primo. Everybody was saluting that dog. Okay. So now I got my recipe. I got Preem. He getting respect all around my spot. Everywhere I bring him there, niggas is shook when I bring him out. They're like, oh, is he biting? Is he gonna bite? Because he just walk, he'd be on cats real confident, but he wasn't trying to bite nobody. But people just was that aura that he had. He was very confident. He'd walk around on your ass. You know what I mean? If you was scared, he'll piss right there next to you and stuff. If you was scary, you know how certain cats be all tense. Dog will sense that and he just kind of piss over there where he's at. That's the type of dog he was. You know what I mean? So that was like my gun. You know what I'm saying? Like he was like my gun. I'd bring him around. I would have to, pilots have pistols and stuff. I wouldn't have no pistol. I have a dog. You know what I'm saying? Because the coldest killers is afraid of dogs. Think about it. The coldest killers is, man, what's up with that dog? You know what I'm saying? Straight up. So I had that dog with me all the time. Boom. So, but that's advertising for me at that time. Because remember, I'm doing breeding. So this is me breeding pit bulls. I've had those ADBA pit bulls back in 96. Okay. But I wanted to do blue dogs. So, and then I got my blue dog recipe with my partner. And then I bought me one of the Muggeston dogs because they was getting the money. And I was a fan of that. And I wanted to get money because I'm breeding. So I got me a piece of that blood. So now I take my watchdog heavy bitch with that Muggeston meal. I cook that up. Do my first breeding with that. Okay. Like I said, I'm building it up before I get to the internet shit. So before we talk about this community, right? Okay. So right now I'm not on the internet. I'm doing things in my city amongst my circle of influence. Okay. So now I got a dog that all my partners is, they jocking. Everybody who come over my house is jocking. I got that boy sidekicking with me all the time. You know what I mean? So I got him in top tier shape, condition, ripped, flared up, cocky as hell. Cats ain't never seen one of those in person. They seen them $10,000, $12,000 dogs on the site, but they ain't seen one in person, but I got it. So now, I got a little buzz for my program. I got a buzz. So I tell my partners I'm about to breed, primo to my crazy bitch Buffy, right? So, cats is, putting their dibs in. So I do my first breeding, sell it out to my partners, all 1,500 a piece. Because I honored the play that my partner blessed me with, 1,500 for my boy Preem. So all of them sold. I kept me one. Kept me a male. But I sold them all out easy to my partners because they knew how much them dogs cost. And they was all fans of Primo, you know what I'm saying? And then they knew about my crazy bitch. So they knew I had the concoction. So I just, sold them all to my partners, man. That was easy. Boom. I bred them 3 times total. Second litter, you know what I mean? I sold half of them for what I wanted. And then the rest of them, you know what I mean? I pretty much, blessed everybody else. You know what I mean? I think I let the rest of them go for like, probably 3 of them to go for like 500, 5 to 750, somewhere around there. But still, you know what I mean? Whatever, you know what I mean? I just did that just for shits and giggles. But it was successful, you know what I'm saying? And I kept another one off of that one too, right? So I had 2 dogs off of that production. Fast forward to the internet time. So in 2018, from 2005 to 2018, okay, I decided to go on the internet and market what I'm doing with my program. You know what I'm saying? Like what I'm trying to do as a dog breeder. Like, it's time for me to get out there to the public because, I'm going to take this dog breeding to another level. So let me go and get on the internet. And at that time, y'all have heard on previous episodes that I was on a DNA shopping spree. Remember I told y'all about that on previous episodes? And that was about the time I got on a DNA shopping spree because I had another dog that I purchased, and it was one of them old school Juan Gotti gray line dogs. It was directly off of Monster, West Side Monster. I bought a bitch from some of the Mexicans out there in LA. It was that classic blood because I wanted to get as close to Juan Gotti because I was a fan of Juan Gotti too. I liked them larger style Pitbulls at that time. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted some of that old school Gotti blood. So I was able to get some. Got a bitch. And for some reason, when I was breeding Primo to that bitch, the first time I did the breeding, I got 2 stillborn puppies. You know what I'm saying? They were so big. They, you know how it goes when you breeding these dogs and, you get a small litter. The puppies, they get all the nutrients. You know what I mean? Those 2 puppies that I had got all the nutrients. They were so big. They came out the canal and, they pretty much died during birth. You know what I'm saying? Just because the labor was so long. The puppies were huge. So I bred her again, got nothing. Bred her again, got nothing. So I'm like, man, is this bitch a dud? And then the bitch ended up having polymetra. So I took an L on that one. I bought that dog. I spent a pretty penny for that bitch. Bitch gave me 2 puppies that was dead, didn't produce 2 times, then got polymetra. I took an L on that. You know what I'm saying? So my vision of taking that old school blood with what I got, it didn't come to fruition. It didn't come to fruition. So I was depressed about what I was going to do. So I go on a DNA shopping spree. So then I breed Primo to my fucking crazy bitch that I was telling y'all about, Buffy the assassin, silent assassin, again for the 3rd time. But I keep everything. And that litter produced Africa. If y'all follow me, y'all know who Africa is. That produced Holy Spirit. If y'all follow me, y'all know who Holy Spirit is. That produced the asshole, king of assholes himself, Shaka. For those of y'all who follow me, y'all know who Shaka is. That produced Jaws. If y'all know who follow me, y'all know who Jaws is. So I kept everything, and then I also sold one to one of my family members. You know what I mean? I sold one to him because he wanted one. So I sold him one for $1,500. You know what I mean? And see, I still was blessing people with the price tag because my partner blessed me $1,500. Wasn't cracking nobody's head. But anyway, I kept the whole thing because I'm like, you know what? you know, my boy getting old. And at the time, he was like 8 or 9. Primo was 8 or 9 when I did that breeding. So was Buffy. She was older than him. But she gave me those puppies. I kept them. So one of my partner. And then, you know, I'm like, I'm keeping the blood. So boom, I got my foundation pit bull right there. That's my foundation pit bull. My pit bull, y'all. Okay. I produced. Okay. It wasn't about bloodlines to me at that time. It was about what I saw, what I had, what I wanted to produce was mine. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't in the bloodlines then. And I'm still not in the bloodlines, but I wasn't in the bloodlines then. I saw dogs. I wanted to create a certain type of dog. I got my genetics. I cooked them up, sold my shit out fast, love my dogs, cooked them up again, sold half of them for what I wanted, you know, blessed the other people for the other half, got rid of them all, kept my 2 pieces, boom, made, you know, try to breed that old school Juan Gotti shit, didn't work out. You know, Palometra had to put the bitch down, took a major L. How much money I spent, all the shit on that bitch, took an L, you know, did my breeding one last time, my old bitch and my old male, they was old. They blessed me with some puppies. I kept everything. So now this is my recipe. I'm in the game and I'm on a DNA shopping spree. Okay. So now I'm on the internet, y'all. Here we go. We're going to get to the nitty gritty. Okay. So I just wanted to, you know, like I said, I wanted to give y'all a build up so y'all can understand where I'm coming from with my dogs and my history with the dogs. You know what I'm saying? With pit bulls in general. So I got dual registered dogs now, ADBA and UKC. Purple ribbon, UKC. That means at least 6 generations documented or more, which must have more. Okay. And then ADBA. And I got dual registered because that watchdog bitch that I got from a man out there in Arkansas was dual registered. So I dual registered all my puppies at that time because they were dual registered. And ADBA took my UKC registered dogs, by the way, you know, because there's a lot of people that dick ride ADBA dogs. But ADBA is just like every other registry. They about the money. So they didn't question me when I sent them over them UKC paperwork for some of my UKC dogs that weren't ADBA registered. They took that shit and registered those dogs too, the puppies. So anyway, so I'm dual registered because, you know, papers was big in those days. So I had ADBA registered pit bulls, okay, and UKC pit bulls. Get on the internet. Now I'm showcasing my dogs, right? So this is where I get introduced to the pit bull community, okay, that I claim based off my experience, the toxicity of that particular community, because I didn't know nothing about that community. I was just within my own community itself, just my own circumference of people influence. Now I'm on the internet. Now you're worldwide, right? So I'm posting my dogs. I'm buying dogs. I get a dog from overseas. For those of y'all who follow me, y'all know which dog that is. Okay. That is the one of a kind double XL pit bull freak of nature himself, AK-47 Chopper, aka the Bone Crusher. Okay. I get this dog from overseas because I'm on a DNA shopping spree and I'm cooking up my own dog. So I'm still on my mission from 05, but it's evolving as I'm acquiring dogs and producing dogs. It's evolving from, hey, I want a blue pit bull and I want to breed because I like the color, but I still want the drive. So I get it and I produce it, but I keep the black one. Okay. So now I'm not even into colors no more. Now I'm into looks, phenotypes. So then I get that Muggeston dog because, you know, that's where the money was. So I got that claim to fame for my program because I'm trying to make money because I'm trying to breed. So I got that Muggeston blood. So I get that dog and then my partners is all in love with it because it's the shit. And so I sell it out on, you know, I sell all that shit. And then I keep a whole litter because my dog's getting old. So then I go and, like I said, I go overseas, man, and I see this dog. I see a dog, a red dog, reminding me of them red-nosed pit bulls I used to get back in 96 that me and my cousin was buying. The dog was named Gunner. If y'all know who I'm talking about, y'all know who I'm talking about. If y'all follow me, I've posted pictures of AK Sire Gunner. I remember seeing this red dog reminding me of the pit bulls of the past, but it was bigger. Now, I didn't know about Camelot red dogs. I didn't know about none of that stuff. Okay, because now I'm on the internet now. So now you're getting exposed to everybody doing all this stuff. I didn't know about these particular bloodlines or whatever. But I knew who owned that red dog that I saw on the internet, on the internet, which was Instagram, by the way. So I see this dog, y'all. I was like, "Ooh, I ain't never seen no dog big like that, but look like a freaking game pit bull that I'm used to." You know what I'm saying? Like that was like them dogs from '96, but it was just bigger, had bone, muscled up like crazy, just like I was remembering. Man, the red nose had a long snout, just conditioned up like crazy. Like he had this dog. I mean, shout out to Simon. That's the name of the guy who owns unowned gunner. His name is Simon. How he had that dog looking, man, I was a fan. I was like, oh my God, I need to get a puppy off of that. And if y'all know who I'm talking about, y'all, I'm sure y'all probably say the same shit. Because anytime I post any type of post with AK and his dad, it goes crazy. It goes ham. Okay, so anyway, I see this. I go and I, go to this page, right? And it's Lion's Lair. And they're in the UK, right? And so I go on this page, I see all his dogs. He got all his dogs conditioned, you know what I mean? Looking crazy. Like, oh, I'm like, yeah, this is what I need right here. I need to add this to my stuff. Because at that time, my vision is evolving to a larger catch dog. Okay. Now I'm like, really, I'm getting my lab chops up. You see what I'm saying? I'm getting my real lab, my lab coat is getting established. So now I'm like, oh, I'm about to cook me up some dogs. You know what I mean? Because I never got into bloodlines. So a lot of these pit bull enthusiasts, they copy other people's recipes. That's them. I ain't got nothing against people and what they want to do with their dogs in their yard, but that's not me. I cook up my own stuff. I came in the game from 05, want to do me from the beginning, from the jump. So anyway, because I was on a DNA shopping spree, I saw that dog. I checked the page out. I'm excited about what I see, y'all. I'm excited about everything I see, man. Everything he got, I'm like, oh man, that's how I want to rock. And he know how to take his pictures right. He's got his dogs, all his dogs is conditioned. Like, he got me excited because that's a performance dog. I'm into performance dogs. I like my dogs muscular and conditioned. He got all his dogs muscular and conditioned. So I reach out to him, man. I reach out to him. Hey, what's good to you? What's good, Royalty Methods? Inquisit, what's that? DGen. Salute to you, man. Yayla one. Salute to you, man. Salute to all y'all, man. I'm cooking up. We getting there. We getting to the nitty gritty. But like I said, I'm going to give y'all a backdrop before we get there. Okay. And if y'all miss it, then hit that rewind button later on down the road. You know what I mean? But I'm building it up so that y'all can understand, why I feel the way I do. Okay. So I reach out to Simon. Okay. And like I said, I'm new to the internet. But I reach out to him. I said, hey, man, first of all, the dog you got, that boy Gunner, wow, impressive. I said, I'm on a DNA shopping spree. I'm serious. I'm not playing. I'm sure you get people talking. Whenever you breed him, let me know. Okay. Of course, he was like, okay, cool, whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever. You know what I mean? He probably hears that from everybody woofing. But anyway, I let him know that. So I'm following. I follow him right there. Boy, I'm following him. So at the time, I'm learning how to navigate Instagram, and I'm, doing little basic posts and stuff like that. So if y'all scroll back, y'all can see my evolution. Okay. Because I'm new to the internet, period. So I'm following Lions Lair and everything he posting about Gunner. I'm on there liking. Cause I'm like, oh, I need that. You know what I'm saying? I'm in my lab coat. I'm like, I need that. I want to make that. I need that in my genetics. So he announces a breeding, man. And it was Gunner with a dog named Spade. And Spade is a black unleashed dog. If y'all know who Unleashed Kennels is, y'all can go check them out too. They produce XL type dogs. They're heavy in the black dogs. Is pretty much their claim to fame is them black XLs. So anyway, he had a dog that he bought from Unleashed named Spade, right? And he had her conditioned just like Gunner, but what I liked about Spade was she had the leg. She was long in the leg, so she was taller than Gunner. And he had her just ripped, had her ripped up like how I remembered how my partner's dog was, or how I had my fucking my bitch Buffy and how I had my boy Primo just ripped up condition. So he had all this dog, but that bitch just was impressed because she had leg. And so remember, I was like, oh, I want to make a larger catch dog. I want my dogs to be larger. Okay, not bully. And this, please understand me when I tell y'all, I want my pit bull phenotype, genotype, but I want them bigger. Okay, because that's when I saw Gunner, I was like, ooh, that's like a bigger pit bull. The phenotype is exactly like a pit, but it's just bigger. Okay, so I'm like, boom. I hit him up. As soon as he posted, I hit him up. Hey, what can I get first pick female? Because I already have males over here. Remember, I kept that whole litter, so I'm gonna take him to what I already got. He's like, man, females all sold out. I'm like, what? You just posted it. He's like, no, I mean, they sold out. You know what I mean? Everybody already dropped deposits down. I was like, bro, you just posted. Are you sure? He's like, no females available. He said, right now I got second pick male available. And he said he got third and fourth pick male available. Okay. Now these puppies ain't even born yet, y'all. He just got slots. I was like, okay, well, I just need the DNA. I got females over here. I told him what I was trying to do. I was like, look, I'm trying to make a larger catch dog. Okay. Gave me the history about how in the UK with they dogs, you know, pit bulls are illegal. He told me his whole play with them dogs. Okay. And I'm going to get into the community in a minute. I'm just, like I said, you know, because I got something to say about these people who think they know about what I do or what I, you know, they think they know shit. They don't know nothing. So, you know, I'm serious, right? So, of course, when you serious, you talk to a breeder, now it gets, you know, the discussions get real serious because, he ain't window shopping. You know what I mean? He said he ready to buy it. So anyway, I was like, look, I need to get second pick male because that's the next one that I want to be able to pick what I want. I'll take second pick male. I got females for. I said, this is what I'm trying to produce. I said, will this dog give me pit bull drive with a larger pit bull phenotype, genotype? So he started breaking down the pedigree of Gunner and he started breaking down the pedigree of Spade. And he was like, based off of these pedigrees and what I bought and what I was trying to produce, you should get that. So I'm like, done data. What's the deposit? Told me the deposit. I put the deposit down that day. Okay, now I ain't never bought no dog from overseas. You know what I mean? So I'm dealing with somebody over in the UK, dropping the money. I mean, he could be scamming, whatever, but I was so determined to get the DNA at that time because I already knew what I was trying to cook, right? I want a larger catch dog. Fell in love with Gunner. Then I saw Spade. I fell in love with hers. I had to get it. So boom, second pick, I dropped the money down. Boom, I got locked in. Now, I don't know what I'm going to get, y'all. I don't know what I'm going to get. You understand? So it's time for me to pick. It's time for me to pick. So remember, I got my puppies that I produce, kept them all besides one. Okay, sold one to a family member because he wanted one, but I kept them all. So I got my foundation from 05. Got my foundation. Okay, all of them is hot, by the way. All of them is hot. So it's time for me to pick my recipe. I pick out AK, right? Okay. I pick out AK. Okay. I don't have to tell you the reason why, but I picked him out because I had my vision, what I wanted. And so he fit my vision structurally, the frame, right? Y'all know I'm frames, brains, and motors. Y'all know the dog god is frames, brains, and motors. Formula One of this dog, performance dog shit. Frames, brains, and motors, how I pick my dogs. Okay. So the frame alone, I didn't know. I was told about the motor. So I didn't get to witness, but I saw the frame. So the frame fit, like that's the phenotype I need. Okay, AK, he looked like a hound dog when he was a puppy. He looked like a hound. Okay, but tall, lanky, long. Like I need that. I need that size. Remember, I told y'all. And Simon told me they was gonna have to drive. He told me they was gonna have to drive. So I believe the breeder, especially when he charged me what he charged me. Okay, with shipping to get AK here, $12,000 I paid. $12,000 I paid for that dog to be imported to the U.S. Okay. So that's how serious I was at that time about my DNA shopping spree I was on. That's how serious I was about my program. Okay. Please hear me. That's how serious I was about my formula, not nobody else's formula. I wasn't copying the Eli strand. I wasn't copying the Bolio strand. Whoever strands, I wasn't copying nobody's strand. It was my recipe, y'all. Okay. Y'all hear the passion in my voice? When you spend that type of money on your dogs, okay? When you spend the money that I spend on my dogs, you got passion, man. The passion of the Christ, to be exact. So anyway, I guess AK, I bring him over here. So My journey in the internet, as I'm posting more, I'm growing more, and more people is being attracted to what I got. You know what I'm saying? They seeing dogs, you know, they're seeing the DNA that I've been purchasing. And so now I'm starting to get a flux of pit bull enthusiasts, I'm gonna call them. I posted a picture of Shaka, okay, all ripped up and muscled up and doing what he doing, and I get these pit bull enthusiasts in my comments talking about that ain't no real pit bull, because that's, you know what I mean, that ain't no real pit bull, that's da, 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 da. I'm like, dude, what the hell are you telling me about? That's not that. I got APBT registry paperwork that says he's a pit bull. I got UKC paperwork that says he's a pit bull. The boy acts like a pit bull because I've owned pit bulls before. The boy's drive is tremendous, tremendous, to say the least. The boy's durability is beyond belief. Durable. Pain tolerance. What pain? What pain? Okay, but these people are spectators commenting on my stuff because I'm showing a dog that happens to be blue that looks and acts exactly like a pit bull, whether it be black, buckskin, red, pied, whatever, right? But they're telling me my dog ain't a pit bull. But the same registry that they be deriding about their dogs, my dog is registered with them, been registered with them. Been registered with them, right? So anyway, you know, I'm whatever, right? I'm kind of ignoring them, right? This is the beginning, right? This is the beginning of this community I'm learning about. I'm ignoring them, nigga. Whatever, whatever. I'm doing me. I don't care what you say. So as I grow in popularity on Instagram, because I'm showcasing more and more of my dogs, and you know, as you showcase more and more of your dogs, people see it, and you start to grow, right? Your following starts to grow, and your influence starts to grow. And then I'm showcasing this dog named AK-47 Chopper, y'all. I'm showcasing this dog called AK-47 Chopper. Now, when I got AK, I told you, he looked like a hound, straight up like a hound dog. He's just long, lanky. You know what I mean? Had them long, floppy ears, man. I had to cut them, and you know what I mean? I had a certain crop that I wanted, and I went to this garbage ass ear cropper that charged $1,000, and she, you know what I mean, she pretty much gave me a battle crop, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, I chopped them ears off, whatever. But I'm watching this dog grow that I got imported from the UK. And I had him growing up with my boy AR-15, my high performance Bandog AR-15, because they're the same age. I produced him. So I had them growing up together. So that energy that they both possessed brought out an extra oomph in the drive early. So now, you know, AK, a young puppy, you know, 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, a year old, you know, he's attacking the spring pole. He's, you know, going crazy over the flirt pole. The boy got hops through the roof. You know, he's starting to develop. So I'm like, oh my God, look what I got. You know what I mean? Like, I can't believe what I got, honestly. You know, everything that my man Simon told me was true about the drive. You know what I mean? Everything I saw in the frame started to develop it right in front of my eyes. Like, oh yeah, oh my God, look at the frame. Oh my Lord, that's what I wanted. That's what I saw when he stacked the dogs and I picked them. So now I'm starting to showcase AK, and AK's popularity starts to grow. And I remember I went on this group, y'all. This is when it really started to kick in, the hate. On this Facebook group, it was like a performance dog Facebook group. Okay. So I post AK on there and I say double XL Pitbull. And boy, oh boy, when I tell you everybody came out the woodworks, from fans to haters, oh my God, I was having, bro, I think, man, I took a snapshot of that shit, man. Like, my post was jumping so hard. Bro, I was getting like 3,000 likes types, you know, because, you know, on Facebook, they got all the emojis, you know, in that, like, they either hate it, love it, whatever, right? You got all, man, I was like 3,000, 5,000, you know, 500 freaking comments. It was crazy, man. It was crazy over my boy AK. From the lovers to the dog to the haters. Oh, ain't no pit bull. That's this. Oh, them dogs over there, they call their dogs bullies, and da, 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 that's a bully. And this. I'm like, bro, how the fuck you gonna, So that's when I really was like, oh, this is what it is with these pit bull guys and girls. They defending a dog that that's got a bad rep based off of the people, not the dog itself, based off of the people. So these are the people that's defending the dog that they gave the bad rep to, but then they want to, come and bombard my post because I'm over there campaigning something new. I'm campaigning my pit bull phenotype, genotype. And they want to tell me about this dog is a pit bull. That dog ain't no pit bull. This dog's a pit bull. That dog ain't no pit bull. I'm like, oh wow, this is the pit bull community. So boom, I get a crash course, y'all. By posting, it was a performance dog group. It wasn't even a pit bull group. It was a performance dog group. But they had like a lot of people that was in that group. Man, my stuff was jumping. So you know what I did? I just kept posting that shit. I kept posting more AKs and my shit was just jumping. The haters, the lovers, all the stuff, man. And so I'm like, wow, this is what it is. This is the community. So from that point on, then, people started following me. Haters was following me just to hate. And people were telling me about my dogs. Like they knew, like they bought, you know what I mean? Like they were telling me about, oh, the person you bought your dog from calls his dogs bullies and you call your dogs double XL pit bulls. You don't even, you don't even know what type of dog you got. I'm like, you see, So now I got a comment now because, they didn't pay 12 grand. They didn't talk to that breeder. They don't know why that them boys in the UK can't have pit bulls. Okay, that's the reason why that the double XL ban is happening in the UK. That's the real reason why. Because you know why? Because they were shipping over pit bulls and calling them bullies. By the way, if y'all want to know the truth, that's the truth. They caught on. Okay, because that was what Simon did. The person that I bought my dog from, he told me that. Because I told him what I was looking for. He told me I bought from Crack Kennel. If y'all know who Crack Kennel is, Greg from Crack Kennel, he got red pit bulls, Camelot, gargoyle type pit bulls. Okay, Unleash has UKC pit bulls. They call theirs pit bulls in America, but when you ship them overseas to a place that's giving you big bread for your dogs, you gonna register them as bullies. You're gonna have them dual register, triple register, ADBA, UKC, American Bully. So you can make money overseas. That's what them motherfuckers is doing. Smart. That's smart to me. But you know what? When I bought my dog, the breeder I bought my dog, he told me why. He told me what they do to get them dogs over there. So I knew the game, but you got people who don't know nothing that want to commentate and spectate this community. They want to tell you about your own dog. Now, little do they know, right? I got a little history on game dogs because, I'm a student of the game. I'm a student of dogs. So I study everybody who is relevant. And when you start studying people who breed dogs, and then you get some insight on these performance dogs and you know why and what they breed their dogs and how, you understand that nothing is pure unless it's just a family of dogs. The blood is pure when it's a family of dogs that just bred together. That's when you get pure in the genetics. However, when you're doing performance dogs, especially these performance pit bulls, okay, I'm gonna say we because I breed performance dogs. We're breeding for genetic characteristics. We're not breeding for pedigrees. And the OG dogmen of the past, when they didn't have no internet, they were breeding for genetic characteristics. They would see a dog that has something that they didn't or they lacked, and they would breed to it. Or if they needed wind, they would outcross whatever they choose to outcross and then paper hang it and say it was a pit bull. Okay. When you know how to breed, that's how they breed performance dogs. So you see, I'm hip to the game. These enthusiasts ain't hip to it because they don't do it. They don't cook up performance dogs. Right? But see, I have knowledge on how those game pit bull breeders was breeding their dogs, performance dogs. They wasn't telling truths about recipes because they didn't want you to have it. And if they lacked wind or certain type of abilities, they would cross whatever they chose to, whether it be whippet, whether it be greyhound, whether it be hound dog, whether it be whatever. Because when you was matching those dogs back in those days, and if you was a dog fighter and you was matching dogs, nobody was looking at the dog like, man, that ain't no pit bull. Man, that dog looked kind of houndish to me. That ain't no pit bull. They wasn't saying that. Nobody was saying, oh, that ain't no pit bull. You got a weight and a date in your bread. Let's match. Let's match. That's how it was when it was performance based. It wasn't internet based, right? It wasn't internet based. It was performance based. So as a breeder, I'm cooking up my dogs the way I want to, and I'm not telling you how it's bred. And then if I want to get the bread, if I want to get the money off my puppies, I'm gonna go ahead and APBT paper hang them mugs. Because who's doing DNA? They wasn't doing DNA testing back in those days. Who's gonna check it? Matter of fact, if I got a dog that performs and wins, they ain't gonna question nothing I'm telling them. They're like, hey, I want a dog off of that dog. Well, here's the puppies. $1,000, please. 1,500, please. Whatever they want to, whatever they ask. And by the way, here's some papers on it, by the way. Here you go. Incentive for you. Here's some papers on the dog. This is how it's bred. Even though in reality, that's not how the dog was bred. You see what I'm saying, y'all? So, these pit bull enthusiasts in these communities, my first introduction was in a Facebook group of how these people operate. So fast forward, y'all. Fast forward. AK is becoming more popular as he's getting older because he's looking, he's a freak. He's a freak. Y'all seen him? And he's a workaholic. Y'all see him? So he's getting more popularity. So now, the trolls. Y'all know about trolls. Y'all heard the term troll. The trolls is in my post. Ain't no pit bull. Stop calling him pit bull. Stop doing this. You lying to the people. You doing this. You doing that. I'm getting all that now. So now I'm like getting irritated by these people because it's like, why are you worried about my yard? Why are you worried about my dogs? Oh, you're giving a pit bull a bad name. You doing this. You doing that. Why are you worried about what I'm doing with my dogs? I didn't give the pit bull a bad name. The pit bull has a bad name because of individuals like you who still want to fight these damn dogs, who still want to talk about fighting dogs. That's what fucked up the pit bull. Not me. How am I fucking up the pit bull? Because I got a double XL pit bull freaking nature? Because I have a pit bull that happens to have a blue coat, or I have a pit bull that's a black, or I have a pit bull that's a red? I'm fucking up the pit bulls? Come on, man. Are you serious? That's how it works? No. You trolls or pit bull enthusiasts don't have any relevance. So when you see someone campaign the way I do, showcase their dogs the way I do, build a following for my dogs the way I do, you see it, you see the momentum, you want to come in and crash it because that's not what you're doing with your game dogs, if that's what you still have. If that's what you have, you're not getting that momentum. There's only a few individuals, and I follow them too, that have them type of game dogs that still have momentum. Only a few. And you know what? Those individuals ain't in my comments, though. Those individuals ain't talking like that. They worried about their program. They let their program speak for themselves. I salute them. They're not over there like, hey, coach, you ain't got no pit bull. Hey, coach, that pit bull is blue. It's not a pit bull. Oh, you can't have a double XL because there's no standard written for a double XL, so there's no such thing. Oh, really? Well, did you know that before there was a written standard, the dog had to come first? Before there was a standard for a pit bull by a registry, the pit bull had to be created first before a registry accepts it as a standard. So what comes first, the standard or the dog? See, a lot of these individuals, These pit bull enthusiasts, they don't have a clue about dogs. The first thing they want to say out their mouth when the dog don't match up to what they think the dog is, they want to call it a mutt. Their slanguage, their country slanguage, they want to call the dog a mutt. Well, let me educate you, pit bull enthusiasts out there, you toxic pit bull enthusiasts. Every dog known to mankind, aside from the wolf, the original dog itself, is a mutt. If you want to call it that, which is a mixed breed in a sense, right? A mixed breed. Or like I would say a mutt, a dog that was just bred without no rhyme or reason. Dogs that were bred for without no rhyme or reason. You know, some alley dogs, stray dogs humping, a chihuahua with a Great Dane on accident, however that might work. Okay, that's a mutt. But a planned breeding of multiple breeds, that's how you create a breed of dogs. Multiple breeds creates a breed. For those pit bull enthusiasts that don't understand how dog breeding 101 works. Okay, but see, these are the ignorant folks that's in this pit bull community that makes it toxic. I'm getting introduced to it because I'm campaigning and minding my own damn business. I'm getting introduced to this community as I'm on the internet minding my own business in my own yard, cooking up like the OG dogmen of the past used to do, cooking up performance dogs the way I want to cook them up. Because that's how they was cooking up their dogs. Picking dogs based off of performance characteristics, performance genetics, characteristics is how I was producing my dogs, picking my breed stock, not because of the bloodline, because that's not what the OGs was doing. That's what the internet do now, but that's not what the OGs, the real dog men that was in the kitchen cooking up those performance dogs that all them pit bull enthusiasts dick ride to this day. Y'all follow what I'm saying? So me campaigning, me doing me in my yard, me having my own vision for my own line of dogs, I'm getting bombarded by the pit bull community, the American pit bull terrier community. And guess who? Y'all wouldn't even guess this. Guess who is the main corporate of the bullshit, of the toxicity? Guess. Guess. I guarantee you wouldn't guess. Okay, but I'm going to tell you anyway. It is the Black brothers who are the most toxic in the pit bull community. Can you believe that? Of course y'all can, right? Because that's how it is in the world today. It's black on black in the world today. Everything ignorant is promoted in the Black community and liked. People like ignorance. And that's why we talk about the ERs, right? The NIGG with the ERs behind it. And I'm a black man talking this. And those are the ones who run their ignorant mouths and talk incriminating talk all the time about these dogs and have a two split tongue like a snake, talking about how they want to save the pit bull terrier, the American pit. How they gonna save it? But at the same time, their words is what brought its demise, and their actions, right? Words and actions, because it's dry snitching and snitching because they want to brag about stuff that's illegal. And they still want to do it. And then they want to talk about it like it's some things just like it's cool. Now, I'm not knocking the historical facts, the historical references of where these particular dogs started from. You know what I mean? Because I get it. I mean, like I said, I used to do a form of it back in the day. We didn't take it to the extreme of the pit, though.
But we know where the origins come from. I'm not stupid. We're not stupid. But at the same time, we're in a different day and age, y'all. And these ERs always want to be negative and talk dog paraphernalia talk. They want to talk dog Michael J. Fox Back to the Future talk about fighting dogs. And if your dog isn't this bloodline and that bloodline ain't no real pit bull, says who? Says you, the pit bull enthusiast? They're still living in the past, dry snitching on your own ass individual? You? I don't believe you. I'm gonna scrap my whole program because what you say? I'm destroying the pit bull because I'm promoting my own line of pit bull, like the dog breeders that you jock today of the past. You know what I'm saying? The old white men of the past that had them dogs that they made with their own recipe. They didn't need you to comment on a recipe and tell them that, oh, well, I wouldn't throw that whippet in there because, that's not a real pit bull. You throw a whippet in there because you wanted to, get better wind. And, I wouldn't. They didn't have the internet. They wasn't listening to nobody. They was doing their own thing. And that's why they was creating spectacular dogs back in those days, because they was in the lab cooking for performance. That's how you make performance dogs, y'all. If you got to throw something else in the mix, throw it in the mix. Who's to tell you as a breeder what to cook up in your dogs? That's your prerogative. That's your yard. Throw what you want. Now, if you threw a whippet in there, and let's say my dog is going an hour max, and it's taxing dogs, and we going in the past. Let's say we in that arena back in those days, and we're letting the dogs do what they was bred to do back in those days. And I had a pit bull, family of pit bulls that was going about an hour. And they was knocking shit out, and wind was good, working for an hour good. But let's say somebody was like, yo, I see these greyhounds or whatever, man. I'm about to throw a greyhound in my shit. Okay, because I want the edge. I want my stuff to go 2 hours. Let's say they did that, right? You wouldn't even know, because this ain't a confirmation show when we in the ring, right? Waiting a date. We get it in. Your dog's an hour, you know what I'm saying? But let's say we go on a distance. Your dog is pooping out. Never went over an hour. But now I got this dog, able to go 2.5 hours. And I freaking demolish your dog. Now you want to buy a dog from me. Because you're like, yo, my dogs I ain't never seen a dog go that long. How did you do that, man? Hey, this is my own recipe. You know what I'm saying, man? I need to buy a dog from you. He don't ask you how it was bred, because he knows you ain't going to tell him. You ain't going to tell him like, yo, I threw a fucking whippet in there, nigga. Excuse my language, y'all. I threw a greyhound in there, my boy. He ain't going to tell you that. He's just going to say, man, this is my recipe, man. Just my pit bulls, man. These are just my pit bulls. You see what I'm talking about? Because it was about performance. It wasn't about paperwork. It wasn't about pitbull. If I'm going to have an edge over you, I'm cooking up whatever I got to do to get the edge. I'm not going to go and breed my dog to your dog because your dog goes for an hour, mine only goes for 30 minutes. I'm going in the lab. Because I don't want you to say, well, the reason why, your dogs is going longer because you use my stock. You know how they was doing back in the day. They wasn't trying to play that. They was making their own dogs. But guess what they was doing? They was breeding for genetic characteristics. For performance. It was no confirmation show. It was no paper show. So now fast forward to now it becomes a paper show. It becomes if it ain't Eli, Bolio, Tombstone, this dog, that bloodline ain't a real pit bull. Who says it? You? The one that don't know how to cook up performance dogs? The ones that really don't know the truth about the real that's in the genetic recipe because you wasn't the one that made it? You just copying? So when they see someone like me, y'all, who does his own thing, and I say, this is my shit. I tell you what I got in my dogs. When I go buy an AK from a breeder, I believe what that breeder tells me because I'm spending money with him. If he tells me he gets pit bulls from this person and that person, he got this dog over here to make his own type of dog. He's telling me they pit bulls. They can't have pit bulls over there in the UK. He says they enabling bullies to get them over there. I'm going to believe him. You know why? Because I saw the dogs myself. I see my standard size pit bull. My bitch Buffy is like what? Shit, that bitch was, rest in peace, Buffy. She was probably like what, 35 pounds, maybe 40 pounds. Black. Pit bull through and through. 35 pounds. Okay. Phenotype pit bull. What I've been used to ever since I had my reds back in 96. She just happened to be black. Okay. Fast forward when I seen Gunner, that red-nosed dog. He just looked like a larger red-nosed dog. If you shrunk him down to 40 pounds, he still look like a damn pit bull. We wouldn't even question it. I wouldn't even question anyway whether he'd be 100 pounds because he looked like a pit bull, just bigger. Because I understand phenotype and genotype. I understand that because I breed dogs. I cook up dogs. I know genetics. I know how performance dogs is made. These spectators and commentators, okay? And I'm passionate about this because I do this shit. Okay, I study this shit. Okay, they don't know nothing. They just run their mouth. They don't understand how to innovate, how to progress, like the OGs was doing when they was making performance dogs, when the dogs that perform was labeled the bulldogs. Not the pedigree. The dogs that perform, that dog can look like shit, but if it's a winner, then guess what? That's a dog, right? Who cared what it looked like? Who cared how it was bred? It's just today, that's what the internet is all about. Spectators and commentators talking about things of the past like they are today. The past ain't today. Today is today. The future is tomorrow. We should be saluting those individuals who is trying to progress the breed. We can't go back in time, Michael J. Fox, and relive the days of old. The OGs that did it, that's their time. If they want to talk about that, let them talk about that because that's what they lived. And we can respect that. We can respect what the OGs did in the past. Okay? And they can talk about it because they did it. But this is not their time. If you still trying to make dogs like OGs, man, you ain't progressing. Your dog should be getting better. Just think about sports and how every generation, every year, it gets better because they learn from the past to make the present. They don't learn from the past to sustain the past. They learn from the past to make the present. That's how we progress. So, if the community, right, pit bull community, wants to make pit bulls great again, right? Popularity, right? They want to do a PR campaign for the pit bull and erase all the negativity that has clouded the pit bull over the years to this day. They need to do something different. They need to talk different. The fighting talk should be done. Once the OGs is done telling their story, the ones who did it, once they're done telling their stories, we ain't gonna want to hear the stories over and over again. It's a broken record. Why we want to hear that shit over and over again? Once you tell your story, it's done. Now, what is the new generation doing for these dogs? I'm gonna say this right now. There's only a few dog breeders who breed pit bulls that are still getting good money for their dogs. Only a few. The community don't want to pay for real pit bulls. They always want a working man's price for them pit bulls. But they talk so highly about these pit bulls, of the past, but they ain't got no bread to pay for them, no. Okay? There's a breeder overseas. Shout out to the breeders overseas. There's a breeder overseas, man. has this pit bull called Pitbull Thor. He promotes. Beautiful dog, black dog, man. He's got a lot of the old school bloodline and stuff, but he cook them up his way or whatever. He charged for his dogs $4,000 for a pit bull. You think these ERs that talk all that stuff that makes this community so toxic, and y'all know what the ERs are, right? The brothers, right? That talk all this toxic talk. You think they'll pay $4,000? And I think he got like 5 times this blood. And, he got some good paperwork looking type dogs too, though. The paperwork look good. You think they'll pay $4,000 for a dog from him? Hell no, they wouldn't pay no $4,000. But he got the pedigree that all the stuff they be talking about. He got that though. But I guarantee you this clientele ain't black, ain't ERs. But he getting it though. You see what I'm saying? He's getting it. You got a good pit bull. The ERs don't want to even $1,500. Oh, that's too much. $1,500. Oh, that's too much. $1,000. Oh, that's too much. What? But you want to save this breed. You want to brag about this breed. You want to protect this breed. You campaigning for this breed, but you don't want to pay for it. See how backwards that is with this toxic community? You want to defend the dog, but you don't want to pay for the dog. Right? So who want to breed them dogs you can't get no money for? That's why a lot of those breeders, they got out of that. They got into bullies. They got into Frenchies. Because you can't get no money on no pit bulls. Unless you got a real campaign. You got a certain clientele you built up over the years. Yeah, you might be able to get some money when you got that. But the ERs ain't going to pay for it. But they're going to talk all this bloodline talking, this game dog, and this, that, and the third, and you ain't got this, you ain't got that. But when it's right there in their face and it's time for them to spend that bread, where they money at? Jiminy Crickets. They ain't got no money, they broke. But they got a lot of mouth to run. Okay. The problem with the community, APBT community, is a lot of people running their mouth and don't have the dogs. They run their mouth and don't have the dogs. And if they do have the dogs, then they ain't getting paid for the dogs that they do have. And it's only a few, I stress it, that is getting breads. And it ain't the brothers that's buying their dogs. Ain't the ERs buying their dogs. But they got the bloodline that the ERs be dick riding just for clout. But they ain't going to pay $3,500, $2,500, $4,000 like my man over there with the Pitbull Thor. You see how backwards the community is? But then they want to attack people who's trying to evolve it and try to do something else with it. You know what I'm saying? Trying not to make the Pitbull a one-trick pony. You know what I mean? We can't do that anymore. The history of the dog, we can't do that anymore. If you still doing that, you was a dumb idiot. You ignorant. You trying to promote that and talk that and troll that? You stupid. You dry snitching. You're making everybody hot, but you want to save the breed. You trying to save the breed? How are you doing that when you still talking that stuff that's going to get you in trouble, man? How are you going to save the breed when you talking that shit that's going to get you in trouble? Huh? Does that make sense? We should be trying to evolve the breed. Even back in those days when that was okay, the pit was okay, that wasn't for the dogs. That was for individual machismo. Just like I was telling you how when we was taking our little dogs and we're in the neighborhood and was letting them hit. That wasn't for the dogs. That was for me. That was for so I can pat my chest in the neighborhood. A dog is what they would call man's best friend, right? That's what they call them, right? So if I take a dog that's programmed by genetics, by years of breeding selectively to be loyal to man, and I train it to go outside of its natural ability to preserve itself, to fight to the end, is that really what the dog wants to do? Think about it. Or is that what we imprinted on that dog to do? And that dog just wants to please us. Is that fair to the dog to die for our machismo? You know, for us to pat ourselves on the back and like, yeah, my dog, fought a good fight and, just so I can win a couple of dollars. I had it in the pit. It lasted, 2 hours and was game, but it was dead game and it died. And, but it was game though. Was that for the dog? Was that for you? Think about it. These dogs is built and bred to please us. So if I'm training my dog to just fight to the end, even though it knows like, I'm not going to win this stuff, but you know what? I'm going to please my owner and I'm going to die. That's selfish. That's selfish. When you have dogs like I have dogs, they become part of your family. They're like your kids, man. They're like your children. For like, hey, man, I love you. I raised you. But you know what? You're going to die or either win tonight. Not for you, but for me. Because I need to win this money. Or I need my rep to go up. So I love you, but you're either going to die or win. Think about that. Think about sending your child, man. That's a boxer. And say, you're going to fight to the death or win. And I love you, son. But you ain't leaving that ring unless you win. And if you die in honor. For me. Not for you, but for me. What if your son's like, Dad, I really don't want to die. But for you, Dad, and the honor and the legacy of the family, I'll die. Okay? Because I want to please you. See how backwards and selfish that shit is? But see, we was taught a certain way back in those days, y'all. Okay? We were taught that was cool back in those days. Think about it. That's why we was doing it. But think about it. Is that really cool? Do I want to see my dog maimed for my entertainment? I think about that, And I'm just grateful that when I was doing what I was doing, we wouldn't let it go that far. Because we loved our dogs. You know what I mean? We loved our dogs. So we wasn't into it like that. And I'm not knocking the OGs for doing what they were taught. However, it's not right. That's what I'm telling you. It's not right. Now, putting my dog that's game or has high prey drive on a hog on a purpose and it happens to die, ridding some varmint or helping us catch some food and it happens to get gorged by a hog, it happens to die. I didn't purposely put that dog out there to die, It just happened to die by an accident. That happens, right? In the field. That happens. You know what I'm saying? But 9 times out of 10, right, we're going to protect our dogs even in that arena, right? We're going to protect our dogs, whether have them a vest on, we're going to be right behind them. We're going to make sure that we get in there to neutralize that hog so that none of the dogs get hurt, right? But the dog's going to do his job, okay? Because we want our dogs to live. But when we do what we was doing or what the OGs was doing back in the day, that was for their own glory. Wasn't for the dog's glory. We can talk all that dog glory all we want, man. That wasn't for the dogs. That was for you. Wasn't for the dogs, man. Because everybody knows that gameness trait is not natural. Okay. What's natural is self-preservation. All animals, even us as humans, have self-preservation. But when you teach a dog, game dog to be exact, to take it all the way to the end, even though they know there's no retreat, no surrender, you ain't going to survive it, and you still going at it, you still scratching, that's selfish. That's for you. That dog died for you. So now we got to take what is now deemed illegal with these dogs and gave the dog itself its reputation. Because there's people who own the dog that don't know how to deal with a dog with high prey drive, who neglect the dog that has high prey drive, and then they leave them to their own devices in their own backyards, and then they get mischievous, and then they figure out how to break out, and then instead of being taught not to go attack a kid or attack something, then they start to attack kids because they think little kids is prey. That's what gave the pit bull a bad name. Not me. Not me, who's doing what I want to do as a breeder, performance dog, pit bull breeder, make a larger catch dog with an on-off switch. That's what I want to do. I'm not making the pit bull a bad name. I didn't do nothing. I wasn't out there fighting him. I wasn't doing none of that shit. But that's what this community is still on. And they know it's hot. They know it's hot, and they still campaigning the negative shit. They still talking about old shit. And it happens to be the ERs. They're the culprit. Then they wonder why, right? And I had a breeder tell me one time, man, as I was getting into this game, deep into the dog game, breeding dogs, and he was telling me as a brother, he's like, the dog game is racist. He said it. The white boys don't like fucking with us. And, I mean, I kind of figured that, right? So I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't doubt it, right? But as I'm, making myself known on the internet to the world, and I'm seeing who I have the most confrontation with, and I find out that they look like me. They're black. They're ERs. All of them. Now I get what my man told me. I really understand it. I truly, truly, truly understand what he meant by that. Because if I was the white guy and I was seeing from the sidelines how these ERs be acting, I wouldn't want to deal with them either, because they would make me hot. Plus, I wouldn't think that they respect my dogs. So I don't want them having my dogs, because they don't respect themselves, and they definitely won't respect my dogs. So guess what? The white guys buy from the white guys, right? And then, the black guys buy with the black guys. But then, we dealing with the black guys that don't want to spend. See? That's why the white boys don't want to deal with the ERs, because y'all don't want to break no bread off. Y'all want something for nothing. Or y'all going to make, you're going to disgrace his blood or something like that. You don't want to sell to you. Which is sad, y'all. And the community needs to be rinsed, washed, recycled, reset, and it needs to be something new. It needs to be a new agenda. Y'all want to save the breed? You need a new agenda. These pit bulls can do more than just pit work. They can do a whole lot more. The pit bull is the ultimate canine. It can do a lot more than just fight each other. There are multiple lines all over the world of pit bulls. They're just not just these one game dog bloods that everybody want to regurgitate from the past. Those ain't the only pit bulls in the world. Those are not the only line of pit bulls in the world. And when you make performance dogs, you cook up what you want to cook up in them. As long as they match the standard phenotype and genotype of what a pit bull is written of. Okay. Throw what you want to throw in there, man. The OGs was doing it. Okay. This is just coming from a dog breeder, just talking real talk to y'all. Throw what you want to throw in there, because the OGs was doing it. Same bloodlines you jock, you pit bull enthusiast. They was cooking up all kind of different genetics that you would never know. Maybe some of you do. Most of you would never know. Because you know why? It was none of your business what them OGs was doing. You wasn't in their yard and they wasn't letting you in there to begin with. You see what I'm saying? But the internet, everybody's in everybody's business on the internet and think they know everything. That's why the American Pit Bull Terrier community is toxic. Because everybody's Mr. Know-it-alls and they don't know shit. Everybody want to go back to the past like it's today, and the past is not today. And if you still doing that shit from the past today, shame on you, man. Somebody need to throw you in the pit. Let you fight to the death. Let you go and be maimed up for entertainment purposes of your owner. That don't do nothing for the dog. I'm sure those of us who've had multiple dogs on the yard and you've had a kennel accident, it's nothing nice to see your dogs maimed and fucked up from a kennel accident. Especially when you got to pay for the damages or one of your dogs is dead and you didn't plan that. That's nothing nice. Especially when you loved your dogs and it happens on accident. That's nothing nice. So why is it nice for our entertainment? You see what I'm saying? We're talking today. Past is the past. Let the OGs live. Okay? That's what they was taught. We're going to let the OGs live. But today, why are you still doing that today if you're still doing that? Why? For your entertainment? Do you really love that dog? You really love that pit bull? You really trying to preserve it? You know what they do to aggressive pit bulls, right? When they go and confiscate your yard, right? You know what they do with hot pit bulls, right? They euthanize them, right? Because they're deemed a liability. They can't put them in pet homes. Is that fair to your dog? Because you made it, you made that dog hot like that? You made that dog a one-trick pony in 2023? Is that fair to the dog that you pit bull enthusiasts want to save? Want to preserve the breed? Why? You see what I'm saying? Why? For your own gratitude and selfishness? Do you really care about the dog? Have you ever cared for a dog that you loved that was injured? And you looked into his eyes and you knew the dog was suffering? Have you ever done that before? How do you feel when you see your dog that you love suffer? How do you feel? Does it feel good? Oh boy, you did a good job out there even though you're suffering. That's how you feel? The mentality of the community has to change. And us brothers specifically need to stop with the fuckery. Stop. Y'all make the breed look bad. You, ERs, make the breed look bad. You. Nobody else. This ain't the 90s. This ain't the 80s, man. Let the OGs live and tell their stories. That's it. That's all. That's all to get to tell. If you tell them stories like you're doing it today, man, you need to be shot. You deserve to go to jail if they catch you. You deserve to go to jail if they catch you doing that dumb, barbaric shit to these dogs. These dogs that will die for you for your own machismo. If my dog died to protect me, that's different. If we hunting and my dog catch an L from a hog because we trying to catch our food or we trying to get rid of this nuisance, that's honorable death. I'm going to cry. But if it's for my own self, I put the dog in that scenario just to be entertained and it dies. How can I live with myself? I'm just going to brag about how, he fought valiantly and he was, game to the end. But he died for my selfish reason, not for him, not because the dog wanted to do it. I'm sure the dog would like to live. But if you make a dog a one-trick pony that wants to please you, then what else is it going to do, right? It's going to just please his owner, right? Because that's what we train the dog to do, please us, right? I want you to fight. I want you to fight to the end. I want you to ignore your pain. I want you to keep going. Okay. Don't stop. I don't even give a fuck if your legs, I don't care if you're bleeding out. Keep going. Like, really, y'all? Are we still thinking like that today? This is the community, the pit bull community. And I had to talk about it because I always get these ERs talking this old, dumb, dry snitching, just ignorant shit about these pit bulls that they so-called want to preserve. I could see if we was getting top dollar, you know. Back in those days, they was getting top dollar back in those days. Because you know why? You was buying something to do something. So somebody might pay 25 grand for a champion or an adult champion. Because it was, it's already proven. Somebody might pay that. But those days is over with. Will somebody pay 25 grand for a hog dog? Probably not. Will somebody pay 25 grand for a confirmation dog? Probably not. Talking about pit bull now. I'm talking about the breed. Will somebody pay 25 grand for a wall climb dog? Probably not. We're talking about the pit bull community now. Okay, other communities pay top dollar for their dogs, but the pit bull community, no. But we're talking about doing something that's productive with these dogs, right? It's not going to stain the dog's reputation. That will actually better the reputation, right? So we're talking wall climb, the things that, confirmation shows, whatever, weight pools, whatever else you're doing with these dogs, because they can do a lot. Well, will the pit bull community pay top dollar for them? No. Will the ERs pay top dollar for them? No, especially the ERs. They definitely ain't paying top dollar. They want something for nothing. But then they want to act like they want the best of the best. Ain't that something? That's the community of the pit bull terrier, American pit bull terrier. That is the community. Okay. And I hear people like Chico Lopez, talk about the swamp of the community. And he's right about it. Okay. But he's another guy that's a hypocrite. Acting like he the only one with the real pit bull. Stop playing. That's marketing. If you believe that, shoot yourself. I know Chico don't even believe that, but you know what? He'll sell these ignorant people that don't know no better. Like he the only one in the world with a real pit bull. Stop playing. See what I'm saying? But he's right about the people in the community, though. He definitely right about the people, though. If he can get 5,000 for his, what he called the golden vein, salute to you, Chico. Great marketing. But don't be so arrogant to think you're the only one with pit bulls, man, Chico. Because you had to get your pit bulls from somewhere. And then the people that you got your pit bulls from had to get their pit bulls from somewhere. You see what I'm saying? So we can't be that arrogant. But he is right about the community, though. Because I'm not even in the community and I see the community. I'm like, oh my God, I would never be in this community. No. There ain't no money in it. Why I want to be a part of a community that ain't getting paid? Thank God I'm on my own campaign. Okay. Thank God I'm on my own campaign. Okay. So I can create my own market, not the community's market, because it's trash. I don't want to be a part of that. I can have all those dick riding bloodlines with everybody on it, all that shit, advertise my stuff, pedigree fired up, man. I need 2,500 for this top tier pedigree. All those dogs that everybody jock, man. 2,500. Oh man, I can't do that. Oh man, that's too much. Oh man. But I got all the dick riding bloodlines in my pedigree and it's ADBA. Oh man, that's too much. That's what you get out of that community, the pit bull community. Those people. So, and I always, okay, because these people like to DM me because I don't hit them with negativity. I just hit them with the facts on my end, and then they be in my DMs, and then we have a discussion. And they, some of them catch my wave, and some of them just want to be ignorant. But I always give them a discussion. I break it down to them how them pushing the line that they're pushing is very ignorant. If you know anything about performance dogs, it's not about the pedigree. It was never about the pedigree. When you're cooking up genetics, it's about what you see in the dog with an S. Because you might have to get it from another dog, and might have to get it from this dog, and then hopefully you get all those genetics in there, and then you start inbreeding and then line breeding and inbreeding, tighten it up so you can concentrate it. And then when it starts to break apart, then you bring something else in there. That's how we breed performance dogs, real breeders, not off no pedigree. We breed dogs to dogs with genetic characteristics that we see. So, for example, if the OG wanted to throw a whippet in there because he wanted win, who's to tell him that he can't throw a whippet in there? Who's to tell him? Because that's the recipe of how you make breeds of dogs, mixing different breeds together. That's how you make breeds of dogs. Every breed is a mixed breed. Every official breed is a mixed breed of dog to make it a breed. So they just doing what's been done since the beginning of making dogs, selective breeding, since the beginning of selecting wolves that evolved to all these dogs today. Selective breeding. They just doing what they've been doing. But it's these ignorant pit bull enthusiasts that don't really know that. So, for example, if I take a dog like Mayday, who was a pretty big dog, man, what some might say 70 to 75 pounds chain weight. It's a pretty big dog, right? And I selectively breed to make those dogs 75, 80 pounds. You know how I would do that? I would just take the biggest dogs out of each litter and breed them together. And guess what? The dogs would just get bigger, right? But if you don't know how to breed, you don't know that stuff. You're ignorant to how that works. And then if my stuff get too tight, guess what? I'm going to outcross. And if I want to keep them big, I'm going to have to go shop with somebody got something with the size that I want. Right? Because I want to keep that blood, but I'm seeing my stuff break down because I'm inbreeding and line breeding. I see it break down. So I'm going to go outcross. So am I going to go outcross to a smaller game dog? Because it's such and such bloodline and it's smaller, but I wanted to keep those 75, 80 pound dogs, 85 pound, 90, whatever I got them to. I want to keep that size. Am I going to go outcross to a smaller dog? Is that stupid? Where's your common sense as a breeder? No, you're going to go search breeders who's breeding like you, who's got the phenotype and genotype like you, who can match up with the genetic characteristics. You see the dogs, the mom, the dad, you ask them about the grandparents, you see that, you see the phenotype, you see the size in there, you see that, if you bring that in so you can keep the size with your blood. You don't compromise your blood. You add to it. You hope hybrid vigor takes off to make your blood even better. You don't go backwards because somebody says, oh, you can't do that. That's not a pit bull. That dog's 80 pounds. That's not a pit bull. Oh, man, Mayday, you're not a pit bull. That's not a pit bull. That's 75 pounds. 70 pounds. And pit bull ain't 70 pounds. See how stupid that this community is? See how dumb as hell they are? But you can't take away Mayday's, credits, what he's done in the ring, in the pit. You can't take that away, whether he's 60 pounds, 50 pounds, 35 pounds, 75 pounds. You can't take that away, can you? It is the people in the pit bull community that is toxic. It's not the dogs. The main ones happen to be the ERs, the black ones. The main ones that get in trouble is the black ones. The main ones that be talking and dry snitching is the black ones. The main ones that be trolling is the black ones. The main ones that be hating is the black ones, the ERs. Ignorant ones. That's why we put the ER on it. Ignorant. You got to be like the Christ sometimes. Forgive them, Lord, because they know not what they do. No, they know what they do. Sometimes you want to say that, but no, they know what they're doing. They actually know what they're doing. They do it deliberately. And that's what's ruining the Pitbull Terrier. Can you get some money on pit bulls? No. If you're trying to get rich off of selling pit bulls, you're not going to do that unless you happen to be them boys overseas that created their own lane, that the majority of their clientele ain't ERs. They getting money. But for example, if I bred like my man overseas did and had all those so-called names in my pedigree that everybody recognized, and I was asking $4,000, man, those ERs will laugh at me. Man, I want $4,000. You know, I got 10 times this and 10 times that, man. $4,000? Are you serious? Yeah, right. You're tripping. You know what I mean? That's how those ERs would be. But you guess what? They talking about them like they want to pay for them, though. They bragging on them like they would pay for them, though. But if you had them to sell them, they wouldn't even buy them. They'd be hating on you. Oh, you can't believe this nigga selling his dogs for $4,000. They hate on you. But you got all the bloodline they be bragging about, though. You know, you bred them like the OGs bred them, right? Top tier performance type dogs. Will they patronize your business? No. They just hate on you. They hate on you. Oh, who does he think he is? Floyd Boudreaux. Who does he think? You know what I mean? Like, that's how ERs are today in this community. They don't want to salute you and be like, brother, hey, good job, bro. I like how you making your own shit. Brother, good job. Good, man. Salute, bro. You in your own lane, man. Good job, man. Do that. Do that. Nah, not the ERs. They want to talk down on you. They want to tell you what you ain't doing, what you don't got. They want you to dry snitch on yourself and show a post where your dogs are fighting or show a video where your dogs is doing something. That's what they want you to do. They want to get you out of character, have you talking reckless on the internet like they do. That's what the ERs in this community want you to do. Like I said, get the OGs they flowers. The ones that ain't doing it no more and they want to talk about it, let them do that. They can do that. The OGs can do that because they did it. They're not doing it now, though. Those are the only ones that can be talking like that. But why ain't we talking today about what we can do that's going to better the dog's reputation, that's going to make the pit bull not a one-trick pony? Because the pit world, that's dead now. If you still want to do that, go move overseas to China or these other countries. Go to Russia. Go over there. Take yourself out the United States. Go over there where it's legal and then campaign. Do your thing because you're not going to get in trouble when you're over there doing it. Do that. But if you in America's talking that stupid country old shit about these dogs, hang yourself. Hang yourself. Real talk. Don't even shoot yourself. Hang yourself. You need to piss yourself when you hang yourself. You need to go ahead and strap yourself with a sheet, tie it up on something, man. Put the little stool up, kick the stool out, hang yourself, pee on yourself while you die. That's how much of a coward you are if you're doing that today. You're a coward, man. Why would you do that to these dogs today, man? Don't you love your dogs? Don't you want to protect the breed? Why would you sacrifice a dog because he's loyal and he wants to please you and you teach it to fucking go to the end for your own selfish reasons? Why would you do that today? Why would you brag about that today, Pitbull community? Why? You know, people are going to jail for that shit. You know, the feds is picking up cases off that shit. Michael Vick showed us that. And that's an ER with some money. And they made him an example. Haven't we learned yet? But if you have a pit bull, it's not a pit bull unless it's in the pit and fighting. That's all these dogs can do is fight in the pit. That's all they can do. Is that what you're telling me? That dog's mind is only able to comprehend fight, pit. Dogs like the prehistoric dog, fight, pit. That's all it knows. Fight, pit. Like, come on, come on now. These dogs will do anything for us, man. The ultimate warrior, the American Pitbull Terrier, the ultimate warrior. They'll do anything for us, man. Let's do right by the breed. Let's change the narrative. Can we do that? Huh? Because the dog ain't fighting in the pit, doesn't make it a warrior anymore? Is that what y'all trying to say now? Pitbull enthusiasts who's still trying to push that narrative? The dog ain't a warrior anymore because it doesn't want to fight in the pit? Come on now. Really? Come on now. Really? If y'all want to do something right with this dog, we need to erase the narrative of the past. Because that's not helping the narrative today. It needs to evolve. The pit bull terrier needs to evolve. It needs a whole campaign shift. Instead of being a fighting dog, it needs to be something else. Like I said, get it. Like if you want to nurture that prey drive, hog hunt with the dog. Make it a catch dog. I see some guys doing it. I think Triple J, I follow him. He talks about his dogs hunting hogs. Okay. I respect that because we know where he come from. But he shifted his narrative. He can come home with his dogs now. He can feel proud when his dogs goes and catches that hog. Because he knows he's coming home with his dogs. He can brag about that, even though, the fur mommies and all that stuff probably got something to say about that. But you know what? You're not going to jail for that. Us honorable dog men who understand performance dogs is going to salute you for that. Bro, that's way, man. That's a good hunting dog right there, man. That's a good dog right there. No, we're gonna salute you because we know where that prey drive come from. We know where the essence of that comes from with that dog, genetically. So when we see it redirected and we see it perform, we salute it just like if it was performing in the pit. That's a hell of a dog, man. What a dog. And it comes home alive. And like I said, if it gets injured to the point where it passes in the field of work, it's an honorable death. Because we didn't send it out there to die. You understand what I'm talking about? We didn't send it out there to die. This was a fluke accident. Sometimes those accidents happen. When we take these dogs in the pit, that's not an accident that a dog dies. That was on purpose. That the dog dies. So, a little long-winded, but I'm going to wrap it up. Because like I said, this is something that's been built up for a while. And I had to address it tonight. Because it's always you ERs. Just got something negative to say. And don't mind your own business. And stay your ass in your own dirty backyard with your dirty ass old school pit bulls. Stay your ass in your backyard and stop dry snitching on yourself. Okay? Talking like you this dog fighter. And you still doing it. Stop doing that. Please. You're not doing the dog any justice. The dog don't need you to promote it that way. Okay? They're killing dogs. They're euthanizing dogs because of you ERs. Getting caught because you're running your freaking mouth on the internet and you get caught. Then what do? They take your dogs. They take you to jail. They euthanize your dogs. What, are you saving the breed then? Are you saving the breed because you want to run your mouth? Is it my fault that your dogs get taken and get euthanized? Is it my fault that your stupid ER ass goes to jail? Is it my fault? Because I'm promoting my own line of pit bulls, like the OGs was doing when they was doing their dogs, making their own pit bulls. Is it my fault because you get in trouble? Is it my fault because pit bulls are unstable? Because you make them a one-trick pony? Because you breed them that way? You train them that way so they're unstable? Is it my fault? No. It's your fault. It's not the dog's fault. It's the ER's fault. Straight up. Straight up. Okay. So I just had to, I can only give y'all my perspective, man. You know what I'm saying? About the community that I see from the sidelines. I'm not in the community. I do my own thing. So I'm watching from the sidelines, and that these people come in to your space with their negativity and their rhetoric. And they talk all this dog paraphernalia type talk, dog fighting paraphernalia type talk. What I mean by paraphernalia, the lingo, all that stuff will be considered paraphernalia, stuff that they can use against you, right? The police. They try to bait you into those conversations to get you hot. Okay? That's what they do. When we should be trying to further the breed, further it, progress it. Let's take the reputation away. It's not the dog's fault. But the dogs are the ones that's suffering. It's the dog, it's the pit bull, the ultimate warrior dog that's suffering. Its reputation is not itself. It is the people behind it that created the reputation for that dog. Now the dogs are suffering. The pit bull terrier is suffering. Excuse me. Because of ignorance, stupidity, selfishness, self-righteousness, right? Justification of wrongdoings, no love for the animal that will die for you, for your entertainment, not the dog. Dog is doing what it's taught. Well, my owner want me to do it. Like I mentioned to y'all, the dog is just doing what we teach it to do. Die for me so I can win a couple of dollars and I get my reputation. Die for me so I can call you a dead game dog. Them days is over with, y'all. Okay? Salute those who are trying to further progress the breed, make the dog do more than just be in the pit. Let's salute those individuals. Let's do for the dogs instead of having those dogs do for us. Why don't we try that one now? The dog's been doing for us for so many moons. They've been dying for us for so many moons for their owners. They've been dying for us, not for themselves. What does a dog get from a pit fight? Nothing but maimed. But we get our pats on the back and shit, So now let's switch the narrative now in 2023, 2024 from here on out. Switch the narrative. And now as the owners, being that the dog sacrificed for us so many years, let's sacrifice for these dogs. Let's put the dogs in a better light. Okay, let's promote those, the new things that they're doing now with these dogs, with the weight pull, the wall climbs, the whatever that we can showcase these dogs' performance, whatever we can do to showcase the dogs' performance without injuring these dogs, without putting these dogs into harm's way, without messing up their reputation. Let's promote that from here on now. Okay. And for example, if somebody like myself or whoever other breeders who wants to progress and make different type or larger type pit bulls, even though there's not a standard for it. But if they want to make it and they're getting more money for it because people want them type of dogs, salute it. Salute it. If I'm able to make an XL Pitbull Draco and I'm able to get 4,000 for my pit bull, and you got a game pit bull that's hot, whatever, got the old school pedigree, and you can only get 1,000 for it, don't hate me because I make more money off my dogs and I call them XL pit bulls. I created a market for my dogs. People want to buy them. Why would you hate me for that? Because you ain't making the money? Because you didn't think of it? Because you following something old instead of creating your own lane? Come on, man. See how ignorant that is? How hateful that is, y'all? That's the community called the American Pit Bull Terrier community. That's them. It's dead. It's dead, y'all. Now, if y'all want to stay in there on your Michael J. Fox Back to the Future, go ahead and stay in there. Good luck to you, man. Good luck to you. You ain't going to get no money. You know what I mean? Make your $1,000 if you can get that off your puppy. Go ahead. That's what you want to make? Go ahead. You might make it. You might be one of them breeders that really got that market. Salute to you if you do, though. But that ain't no real money. I'm just saying that ain't no, you know what I mean? That ain't no real money. Come on, man. You got to have something that, you know what I mean? You got to have something that not many people got. That's really got it, but it's got to have an edge though. But not many people got to get the money. You got to be progressing like how those game dog breeders back in the OGs was doing. They was progressing their dogs in performance. That's why they was getting the money for it. The better their dogs was bred, how they bred them, the better they performed, the more money they got. See how that works? But we're not in that arena no more. We can't say, oh, this dog done won 10,000 times and shit. I need fucking 100,000 for this dog. Right? Because you can't show that value no more like that. You can't show that value like that no more in these dogs. It's pedigrees now. And people ain't buying pedigrees. Believe it or not. Sounds good when you talk about it, but when it's time to put that money up, where the money at? Man, look at my pedigree, man. I can't pay. That's too much. See how that works? So why I'm gonna be pushing the pedigree when niggas ain't want to pay for that stuff? They ain't even trying to pay for that. I need to go sell me some Frenchies then. Because they paying for those Frenchies. I need to go sell me some exotics, some exotic bullies. Because they paying for those, but this 20 times Eli and all this blood, they ain't paying for that though. See how backwards the game is? It's backwards, y'all. The game, the Pitbull game is backwards. That's why it's dead. So, in closing, to the remaining of the Pitbull community that cares about the dog, the ones that care about the Pitbull, not the ones who want bragging rights. Okay? Like my man Dogs on Go says, it's true. Not the ones that want the pat on the back for the dog sacrifice, want to brag about what the dog did for you. Okay? The ones that care and love these dogs, it's time to change the narrative. When somebody in the community is talking dumb, old school, reckless stuff, not the ones that the OGs that want to talk about what they did in the past, more for us to learn from it and not do it. Learn what we did and we got in trouble for, but not do it. The OGs that do it like that, reminisce to teach us what not to do, but that we know they did it back in those days so we can get some history. Like I said, let them do what they do. Give them the pass to be there. But as long as the OGs ain't talking about like do that shit today, give them their flowers and let it go. But anybody talking like that now in 2023, like they still doing what the OGs did, tell them to hang themselves. Tell them you ruining the breed. You ruining the pit bull still to this day. Because in America, come on, man. They're killing these dogs. They got a bad rep. They don't get a fair shot because of those individuals that I'm talking about. It's not fair to the dog. It's not fair to the pit bull. If you love your dogs like they're your family, take care of them. Love them. Okay? Let them work so where they can come home. Okay? Let them work so they can come back home. Change the narrative. Okay? And as long as it's toxic the way it is, I'm going to stay my ass on the sidelines. I'm stay doing what I'm doing, which is myself. I'm doing me. I'm copying nobody shit. I'm doing me. Okay? If I want to call my shit an XL Pitbull Draco, if I want to make a double XL Pitbull, I'm going to do it. And if I make more money than you, then, mind your business. Pitbull spectators, Pitbull enthusiasts, stay off my posts. Trolls. Okay? You mad because when you post something, you can't get 1,000, 2,000 likes, and I do. So you got to troll in my comment section so you can get a couple of your little cronies in there to like your little negative, dry snitching comments. Mind your business. Stay out my yard. You know what I mean? Stay out my yard. I'm going to stay doing me. I'm going to stay winning. I'm grateful to God I purchased AK-47. I'm grateful to God I decided to breed my own pit bulls back in 2005, and I got what I got. I love my dogs. Okay? I do not allow my dogs to fight each other. When they have accidents, I beat ass. I beat dogs' asses. So they know that I don't tolerate that. Even though it's in their nature to do it, they know that the alpha, which is me, I don't tolerate it. I don't encourage it. I don't encourage that in my yard, even though it's in the genetics. I discourage it because I don't want to pay for vet bills. I don't want dead dogs. I don't want my dogs to get loose and attack the neighbor's dog. So I get sued. I don't want my dog to think a child is prey and then it attacks a child and then I get sued. I don't want that. It's time to change the narrative, Pitbull community. Embrace the narrative of change. Promote the dog. Put the dog first. Put the Pitbull Terrier first. It's time for us to lay it down for the dog instead of the dog laying it down for us. Haven't they done that over the years enough? Hasn't the breed suffered enough? Pitbull community. Okay? Time to give back to the Pitbull that you love so much. Huh? If y'all trolls want to talk and be all up in people's comment sections trying to act like you an advocate, go to your legislation and campaign for the breed. Why don't you do that? Huh? Why don't you start you a nonprofit and save some of these stray pit bulls that's over there in the pound? Why don't you do that, Pitbull enthusiast? You know what? You won't do it because you're just running your mouth, talking, dry snitching, talking about stuff you really ain't about. Because if you are, you're stupid as hell and you need to be hung. I need to take that dog and sick him on you. See how you like it. Let me see how game you are. You know what I mean? Let's switch places with the dog. Let's have the dog pit us against each other to the end, to the death, and see how much we feel comfortable with our owners. When we know we got to go out there and kill or be killed. So in closing, we got to change the narrative, y'all. Straight up. And to you, toxic Pitbull enthusiast, shame on y'all. Shame on you. You the reason the dog is fucked up. You the reason why America doesn't like the Pitbull anymore. You're the reason why the number one dog, period, in the world is hated by so many people. You toxic pit bull enthusiasts who just think that these pit bulls are just one-trick ponies fighting dogs. That's all they can do. That's all that these dogs can do. If they're not in a pit, they're not a pit bull. Really? Is that what that's all that dog can do? That dog ain't the ultimate dog then if that's all it can do. So in closing, I just had to let y'all know, man, this is my experience with the pit bull community. Y'all might have something different. You know what I mean? Y'all might have a different experience. Y'all might even agree with those individuals that talk like that. That's your prerogative if you do. But guess what? If you're one of those people, you're the reason why the pit bull is fucked up. You, not me. Not me. Like I said, if I promote my own style of pit bulls and I'm getting $4 to $5 grand, good job for me. Because you can't even get 1,000 for your game dog pit bulls. But if I'm getting $4 to $5 grand and I'm calling mine a XL Pitbull Draco and people are still buying them for $4 grand, salute to me. I'm winning. I'm winning. You think I'm going to care about what you got to say about my dogs not being pit bulls when I'm winning? I have clientele buying my XL Pitbull Dracos. I got a fan base for my dog, double XL Pitbull, Freak of Nature, AK-47 Chopper, aka the Bone Crusher. I have a fan base for him. Okay. I've got his puppies all over the United States. But I'm the reason why the pit bull is fucked up, though. I'm promoting my own pit bulls. How stupid does that sound, y'all? Hey, how dumb and ignorant does that sound, y'all? So, in closing, I want to salute everybody again that came out. I want to check out some of these comments too, man. Y'all been commenting. I've just been running my mouth, you know what I'm saying? But first and foremost, I want to thank everybody for coming out, man. Let me read some of these comments, man. Royal Methods, man. Salute to you. Salute to you, man. Welcome. Yayla one. He said, let me see. Let's click on that, man. Let's click on some of these comments, man. Yellow, I think that's what it's Yellow one. Okay. I had someone tell me a breeding was sold out before the breeding even I think that you meant to say even took place. But truth is he didn't want me to get in on the breeding because I had already showed him pictures of my stud. Okay. I mean, that's up to the breeder, you know what I mean? Certain breeders are picky about what they want, going to their dogs, you know what I'm saying? I never get into other people's recipes, you know what I'm saying? So, if you wanted to buy a dog from me personally as a breeder, it's your prerogative what you want to breed it with. You know what I'm saying? If you want to mix it, you want to whatever, if you paid your money for it, who am I to tell you how to breed your dogs? But some breeders want to be specific about their blood and they want to dictate who has their blood. So, that's common. That's common. I wouldn't do it because, like I said, who am I in your lab? That's your lab. You pay for your dog, however you want to breed it, however you want to breed it. But I get that. I get that. Let's see here. Let's go to my man, Tamir, man. Tamir just said, what'd he say? Just did my F1 Dogo Argentino de la Cocha imported line with my Pitbull. Hey, salute. Salute to you on that, man. You know what I mean? Those are going to be some fiery dogs. The Dogo's dope. I've never owned one. I've seen one that was a puppy in person, but I heard those Dogos are some serious dogs, man. So that'll be that's a dope cross, man. I'd love to see how that turns out. And then Tamir said, Master of all bulldogs is one of those that always telling everyone you ain't got a pit bull and don't understand that American Pit Bull Terrier is a breed. And yes, pit bulls is a umbrella term. Man, you know what? The master of all bulldogs, that guy is special, man. I think he just does it because that's his method of getting attention. He just says that so he can get attention. You know what I mean? Like, he is not no bulldog expert. You know what I'm saying? Like okay, like I said, let's keep it real, y'all. You got to be real. You got to be realistic when you're talking about dogs. There are dogs all over the world. All over the world. There are dog breeders all over the world. There are pit bull terriers all over the world. There is not one line of dog, even when you get bloodlines that are similar, that are bred the same by each breeder. Everybody breeds their own way. Everybody who breeds have their own family of dogs. So the master of bulldogs is another ignorant individual talking the way he talks, like he know everything. Okay, he's a troll, the master of all bulldogs, because he knows, people going to either comment negatively about what he say, or you gonna have some people who don't know no better that'll be agreeing with him. Okay, so yeah, he's a special guy. I've dealt with him a couple times too, and I've checked him every time that he try to come over there with his stupidity on my stuff. I tell him just straight mind your own business. That's what I tell him, bro. Mind your business. Stay out my yard. Who asked you your opinion, master of all bulldogs? I can care less what you got to say. Master of all bulldogs. Worry about your yard. Don't speak on mine. Click. That's how I do him. You know what I mean? I do him just like that. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, man. Tamir been lining them up. He said they was hating on me from the Bandog worldwide group. I'm like, damn, it's a worldwide Bandog group. I crossed my UKC American Pitbull Terrier with my Dogo to create something else. I don't want a Pitbull. I mean, that's one thing about these groups, Tamir. Real talk. A lot of those individuals on them groups are just spectators. Real talk. They're not even the ones cooking like you or myself. Okay. So you posting what you're doing, most of those people that's going to hate on you, they're not even cooking up dogs, man. They just over there just to hate. They just be on those groups just to talk shit. So I'm just going to tell you, don't be discouraged by what the comments and stuff that you get in these groups, man. I just take that stuff with a grain of salt, man. You know what I mean? Like, people going to hate, that's what they do. You know what I mean? So don't get discouraged. Just continue to do what you do, man. But I truly understand that. But a lot of them people aren't breeders in them groups. Keep it real with you. They're not band dog breeders. Keep it real with you. Let's see what else we got here, man. Let's see what we got here, man. Money and being in the pit back then. So people came afford a purebred American pit bull. Excuse me. Okay, we got Haas Delgado. And I said, if I slaughter y'all name, man, forgive me, y'all. He says American Staffordshire Terrier is underrated. That's true too. That's true too. You know what? Just because, right, a dog's an American Staffordshire Terrier and a dog is an American Pit Bull Terrier, okay, doesn't mean that one is better than the other. Okay? Real talk. It's about the dog that's in front of you that makes a dog better than one. It's not what a breed of dog is, because there are some American Staffordshire Terriers that go hard to the paint, just like some game dogs do. So, it's ignorance. Haas, it's ignorance, meaning that they just don't know no better. So they're ignorant to the fact that, it's the dog. There's some bull terriers that's game. You know what I mean? There's some some yak terriers, and there's all kind of dogs that will get it in, man, straight up. But it's the individual dog. It's not necessarily the breed. Okay, it's the individual dog itself. What's in that dog that is what matters. It's not necessarily the breed. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, that's Tamir talking about that boy, master of all bulldogs. He said, yeah, old boy make his whole channel and say you don't have a pit bull then you look at his camp and be like, damn, he talk all that, and the proof is in the pudding. They be hating. Oh man, yeah, he's a character, man. He's a character. Let's see what we got here. Okay, we got Jerry said what they look like. What they look like. You got pics. I don't know what you're asking. I don't know if you asked about my dogs, but if you follow me on IG, go to the Dog God, aka the Coach, on IG. If you go on my if you go to my homepage on YouTube, I got the link there, and to my Instagram, and you can see all my dogs, man. Okay, and Tamir said paperwork is just paperwork, and they were not worried about papers. They were worried about putting in that work to get the money when it was legal. Nowadays, it is not legal as facts. Facts. Paperwork is just paperwork. Like I said, it's all about the dogs. Paperwork is good to reference if you understand how to read them, right? So it's not irrelevant in a sense. It's not really relevant over the dog. The dog is what matters the most. The paperwork is just extra credit. You know what I'm saying? Like real talk. Keep it simple. Stupid would be pay attention to the dog. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what that pedigree is. If that dog is a dog, a real bulldog, I don't care if it has papers or not. Personally, I just want the genetics. You know what I'm saying? If that dog's showing me them genetics and and then it can produce it, give me that dog. Papers or not, I don't care about no papers. But that's how people are pushing today now. You know what I'm saying? Especially with these game dogs, it's all the OG bloodlines. So that's their claim to fame, is what the OGs was doing in the past with these dogs. Ain't what the dogs are today. Is what the dogs were in the past that people are still riding and jocking in this pit bull community, and it should be progressing. Like I said, I salute the breeders that's taking it to another level. You know what I mean? Like, shit, do what the OGs did and take create your own line. You know what I mean? Like, we shouldn't be talking about these old bloodlines today. Like, real talk, we should be talking about who got the best stuff in 2023. That's what we should be talking about with somebody else's name on it, not these OGs and stuff, man. They done, man. They done retired. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. We evolve. Okay. I'm letting them go for cheap. Let's say Jerry Hurley said, I got some dogs from coach to my boy getting old. Can't get after them hogs like he used to. Yeah. See what else we got. Yeah, I don't know Ace 13. I've never heard of New York Bully Crew. Never heard of them before. And then Dogs on the Go talked about, yeah, that's crazy, man. How have they made them dogs fight like that back then? That's fucking crazy. I mean, it was entertainment. Like I said, I when that's all because that's what that's what we were seeing when we were younger. Like, even like I told you, when I was younger and I bought my first ADBA pit bull back in '96, I just took pride in my dog and I didn't want to see my dog hurt. So, that was just our thing, as young kids. We wasn't trying to fight our dogs to the death. You know what I'm saying? We let them, call what I said, we call it hitting and stuff. You know what I'm saying? We let them, get to a point we see a dog get the upper hand, we break it up. You know what I'm saying? We would never let it go that far. But that was what that's what was being done. So I get it. I understand. If that's the narrative of the dog, then that's what you do. That's what we was taught back in those days. So I'm not gonna fault them for that. To say it was right or wrong, I can't say. But is it right now? No. No, not at all. But what they were doing back in the days, if that's what you was taught, we got to keep it what it is. We got to give them their pass back then.
Dogs on the Go mentioned Triple J. He said Triple J kills coyotes, bro. He kills coyotes and put guns on top of them. How can you say you were a dog lover and you're a killer coyote, bro? Well, let's see. Coyotes, I live on 6.5 acres in mountains in the hills, man, and we got coyotes, we got mountain lions, we got bears, we got a lot of predators, bobcats, eagles. We got a lot of predators where I live. And the coyotes are a nuisance, man. Like straight up. And they roll, I mean, if you know anything about coyotes, they roll in big ass packs. So if you got a coyote problem and you trying to rid them of, you're trying to rid yourself of that problem, then you're gonna do what Triple J does. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get them coyotes off your property. You know what I'm saying? Because they eat your chickens. If you got, farm animals and stuff like that, they're a nuisance. So I ain't gonna knock Triple J for that. You know what I mean? I'd rather him kill coyotes with his dogs than fight them. Not to say that that's what he does, but I would rather him do that. You know what I'm saying? So if there's a purpose behind why you killing coyotes, then it is what it is. Because a coyote is, they could be nuisance, man, a nuisance to you, and that's why you have your dogs to protect your property at the end of the day. So I can't knock him for that though. Let's see what else we got. Okay, so then Dogs on the Go mentioned about the dogs get bragging rights. The whole bloodline is a bragging right. And that's true too. That goes back to what I was talking about with the machismo. You know what I'm saying? The pats on the back, why people were doing it. It wasn't about the dogs, it was about self gratification. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, bragging rights on what your dogs can do. Your dogs can care less about that. I'm sure your dogs don't want to go out there to the death, but at the same time, it was more for you to brag about your dog and what your dog can do. It wasn't about the dog. But you're right, and bloodlines is another bragging right of today. That's the internet, the bloodline. Oh, I got this blood. I got that blood. I got that blood. Ah, okay. Yeah. Sounds good, right? Sounds good. So, I want to salute everybody, man, that came out. Dogs on the Go, man. Salute to you, man. Jerry Hurley, salute to you, man. What's that? Young Ready, 109, QGTM, man. Salute to you. Ace 13, salute to you, man. Thanks for coming out. Tamir, thanks for coming out. Let's see what else we got. Who else we got over here, man? Who else we got over here? I just want to make sure I don't forget nobody. Haas, man. Thanks for coming out, family. Yellow One, thanks for coming out. Royal Methods, thanks for coming out, man. Salute to y'all. Yeah, so hopefully, that community right there that I talked about tonight, that American Pit Bull Terrier community will hit a reset button and change for the better. Because as of right now, it's trash, man. It's trash. It's dead. It's dead. I mean, it needs to be, like I said, it needs to be reset. You know what I'm saying? And the people needs to be revamped and needs to have a new leadership, which is more focused on the dogs. It's now let the dogs shine and live a better reality. You know what I'm saying? Um, breed these dogs to not be one trick ponies. You know what I'm saying? Let's focus that drive into something productive. Let's create on off switches and not liabilities. Let's put on off switches on these high drive dogs, so that they can show stability. Instead of breeding how, when you wanted a dog to be a killer, you would just breed them till they was crazy. You know how it goes. If you understand how to breed, you know how you do it. You know what I'm saying? You want that fire, you just want them to be fired up. You're gonna breed fire on top of fire, fire on top of fire, fire on top of fire, to the point where you got puppies coming out killing each other, because that's how you bred them. You know, you took the on off switch off the dog. You know, you took the pack understanding out of the dog because you bred it that way. And now we need to breed these dogs not to be that way because that's not the wave anymore. Um, you know, we need to just change the light on them. So hopefully you guys get what I'm saying. Um, I really do hope y'all understand what I'm saying, man. And just don't fall victim to it. You know what I'm saying? Don't let them bait you. Don't let these individuals, these toxic individuals, bait you to get yourself in trouble. You know, have you talking reckless on the internet about these dogs, having you showing stupid stuff about your dogs doing dumb shit that would get you in trouble. Don't do it. Don't be talking fight paraphernalia talk. Any other lingo, don't be talking that. Don't do it because there are people watching that will tell on you. Literally, there are people watching your posts, whatever you're doing, and they will report you and you will have a visit. Believe it or not, that's the day we live in with the internet. You'll say something, you'll show something thinking you cool, and guess what? You'll have a knock at your door, man. You be like, how the fuck? What? Who the? And it's as real as that today. That's how it is today. So don't think it's cool to be that way, Pitbull community. Don't change. It's time. Change for the breed. People in the community, change for the breed. Okay? Push the dog in a better light, please. For the dogs. Do it for the pit bull. Okay? Take your pride out of it and do it for the dogs. Okay? And maybe then once you change the narrative, you'll start getting more money for your pit bulls. Maybe people will start buying them and paying top dollar for them because now you got them doing more than just fighting each other in the pit now. They're all purpose dog and people want them again. They want to pay again type shit. They want to pay again. They don't want the, pull your pants down and only want to give you $500 for a top tier performance pit bull. You know, can I get it for 200? All I got is 500, man. But I love them bloodlines though. I love them paperworks though, man. But all I got is 500. Oh, I can't pay 1,500. Come on, man. Change the narrative, Pitbull Pitbull community. But all right, world. Ah, man, I just had to vent to y'all. Said what I needed to say. I'ma still do what I do with my dogs. None of you naysayers and spectators and commentators is gonna stop me. Okay, I'm still gonna do and make my own dogs, and still gonna get the money because I do me. I don't do you. And mind your business. Okay, stay in your yard. Stay out of mine. I didn't ask you to come in my yard. Stay out of it. Okay, worry about your own yard. Like I said, clean up your backyard. You want to go roll your dogs, but don't dry snitch and don't tell me about it. You understand? Keep me out of it. I don't want to be a part of your fuckery. But all right, well, I'm about to wrap it up. Okay. Tune in next time, man. Next Thursday. We'll have a good cook up as well, man. But thank you for showing up, man. Salute to y'all. I am out.